Oh, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. What a morning. What a morning indeed it is. Certainly a lot different than it sounded 6 years ago today. That, I promise you. Thanks so much for being here. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. And let's get our heads right on what is essentially Christmas Eve for this program and for the majority of our audience out there. I'm Woodsy. That is Paul Reindl. He's our executive producer, imaging director of the station. Good morning, Paulie.
Good morning.
Happy anniversary to you, my friend.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Anniversary.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. You can either one.
It's the show's birthday, but it's our anniversary.
That's right. Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning.
Happy anniversary.
Happy Iron anniversary. The sixth year Iron anniversary. I commissioned an iron worker to make a sculpture of the three of us, but unfortunately,
he didn't get the job done.
It did not get ready in time.
I think it was the rain over the weekend is what set it back. I do look forward to seeing it. When he can get it done. Yeah. How tall is it? Is it like just scale?
Life size.
Oh, it's the scale.
Yeah, life size. Absolutely.
Holy cow! I can't wait to see this.
Where weighs 12,000 pounds.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's put it here to really piss off the other shows. And since it's 3 tons, no one can move it. 6 tons.
Ever.
How much is in a ton?
2,000. 6 tons. Yeah.
So it's 6 tons. We put it right here, and they have to maneuver around it every day. They're just fuming.
We're keeping them company all day long.
Right here. Huge Ben and Woods iron statue. Can you imagine the looks on everybody's faces? Of everybody here at the station if we did that. It would be the greatest prank of all time. And then we hide hidden microphones in here. Who do these guys think they are? Are they out of their effing minds? Like, it would be the greatest prank of all time. Well, I look forward to seeing that. It's funny, man. Yesterday I was... We have the YouTube chat. Thank you for watching on YouTube. We've got the radio, the Odyssey app, everything. There's a lot of ways you can consume us, and I'm so grateful for anybody that makes the effort to do so. But I went back to our Instagram DMs, and we had about, 100 in there, because we had posted some stuff from the celebration of life, and I'm like, oh my God, I have neglected these messages. So I start going through them and, hey, thank you, whatever, like just customer servicing it up.
I had gone through them just before the celebration of life, and then I went back and looked. I'm like, yeah, there's like 150 messages.
There were so many messages.
Because even if, Ben, you don't know this because you don't.
He doesn't know where the message. Well, he doesn't know where the message.
You don't know how to find the DMs on Instagram. Even if somebody replies with a heart emoji or something to your story, it comes in as a message. So
you got to go through all of them. Thank you, or hit heart or whatever. So I got a DM from Nanette, and this is what got me, man. She asked me, "Hey, what song was that played at like 9:15?" The way my brain is wired, I was like, all right. So I went back. I did, like a lunatic.
To the right day at 9:15 to figure out which song played.
Like my eyes are, I got Bo home from school on spring break. I gave him his iPad because I'm like, I need to chill my brain out for a while. It's spring break. So I go back and I start listening and I start listening and I start listening and I can't find it. So I'm sending her all these different clips. And I'm like, oh, that was Divine Fits, right? No, it wasn't it. That's not it. No, it was that. Was it Prince? No, I know Prince. Was it the Stones? Bitch. And she's like, no, I know that song. I couldn't find it. But what it allowed me to do was something that I never do, and I haven't done in a long time. It gave me a chance to listen to our show. Huh? So I don't go back and air check us ever. Once the show's over, I realize now there's nothing I can do about it. If it was crap, if it was crap, if it was great, it was great. But it gave me a chance to go back and listen to our show. And what struck me here on our anniversary and our birthday was just how awesome it sounds like we all get along still, because we do still get along. You can't fake what I heard in my ears. And I'm on the show, and I was listening going, oh, yeah, we laugh a lot, and we interrupt each other a lot. We are all excited.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're all excited.
What do you mean interrupt each other?
We don't talk over each other.
We do not do that. We're radio professionals.
And I listen
Never we do that.
All right, that's the bit. It's over now. So I'm listening going, I really like these guys still after all this time. Now, listen, you may be thinking to yourself, bro, I've been at my job 15 years. I get it. Radio years are like dog years. You're in here 4 hours a day trying to figure out what tomorrow's going to sound like, what you can do to stay ahead of your competition or to make your show bigger and better. And I was just listening to the audio, and I went, man, I still love these guys very much, and it sounds very much like we love each other. And that's just not something that you can fake. You can for a while, I think, and I know shows in town that have done that, but it just felt really genuine to me. And so I just wanted to start there by saying, this show started 6 years ago today. My son was 7 weeks old at the time, and now that little SOB, he's in Daytona at a wet T-shirt contest for spring break, having a time of his life. And I listened back and I went, man, we have come a long way. Our audience, we couldn't do it without them, certainly, but I just am very, very grateful to work with you, Paulie, and you, Ben, every day. What a weird threesome this has been, but one that's been a lot of fun.
A threesome would be fun.
And I'll say mostly fun, like 99% fun.
And I reflected a little bit, and thank you for saying that, Woods, and went back and tried to remember what was it like the very first show. And honestly, I couldn't really remember. I know that
Hannah
the show
Hannah remembered this morning.
She remembered what it was like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just remember the feeling, though, that I had. There's always some nervousness, and I knew Paul, obviously, a little bit. For a few months, we had worked together, and then you joined us. And then what's really amazing, though, in this business, radio, is everything changes all the time. And yes, we've had some people come and go, Old Station, Hammer, some different colleagues over the years. But just the fact that the very first day, it was the three of us,
yep,
the core. And here we are 6 years later, and it is still the three of us, the core, without any major change. Like 6 years, and you could probably count on a few fingers. I mean, you had a paternity leave for a couple of weeks. I've had my 47 vacations, but it's pretty much been the three of us every weekday morning for 6 years in the same room. A couple different studios, but that is incredible, especially in this business. And we still get along with each other
very
after
much.
All that time, all those hours together talking. I promise you don't talk to your significant other, your children, your parents, your brother, sister, as much as we have to talk to each other every single day. It doesn't happen. There's more quiet time in the day than you realize, and yet we fill 4 hours every single day talking to each other and are still doing it and still getting up, when it's completely dark out in an obscene hour and enjoying coming into work. It's incredible.
Happy to be here, every day. I mean, really, there's always something that I take away from our time together with a chuckle and a laugh. And I think it not only is it chemistry, but it's just trust. I trust these guys with my life. I know if I needed them. And that's the best part. I know that 15 years down the road, if I need these guys, they'll be there. They're a part of my family now, just like you guys are out in the audience. It has truly been a shocking ride for our show, and obviously you can't do anything without an audience. And there's been a connection there, and I just thank you for it very much. You've made all of our dreams come true. I mean, I still have more dreams, but let's keep them coming true.
Speaking of trust, you trusted me this morning to run an errand for you.
I totally forgot this. So we talked.
That I wasn't all that pleased about.
Man, we talked.
But
this is something.
I did it anyway.
When did we talk about this? Like last week,
like
right?
Not that long ago.
It was not that long ago.
I actually don't even remember if it was on the air or off the air.
Benny says, I've never bought cigarettes or any sort of you've never really bought anything behind the counter. Maybe a Jugs magazine.
Lottery ticket.
A lottery ticket,
Yep.
Maybe a Jugs magazine, which who among us?
Maybe like the fancy liquor.
Yes, maybe like the super.
I've definitely bought the fancy liquor.
Yes, exactly. Like you can get Southern Comfort out on the shelves, and then the
If you want the
fancier
stuff that you got to get the key and slide open the glass door.
So we get up this morning, and I got here a little early. I had some work to do to get ready for tomorrow's live broadcast. And I sat down. I go, damn it! I forgot my Zyn, my little Zyn nicotine pouches that I'm eating throughout the show. And Paulie goes, don't. He's not going to. I go, I'm going to ask him. It was 5:17 when I texted him. I knew he wasn't here yet.
And you know where I am because you said yesterday he almost always gets here at
5:32.
5:32. So you knew
on the
I was
nose.
probably within 5-6 minutes of pulling into the building.
Yeah.
So good timing.
So I text him. I go, hey, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to stop at that Arco by the station. And I need you to go in and buy me 2 cans of Zin Classics. Just say Zin Classic 6. And he writes back, ugh, okay. Walk me through it. Nervous a little?
A little bit. I mean, I just don't want to have to get into a conversation about it with the guy behind the counter.
What do you think he's going to say?
No.
Hey,
you like these?
Are you
like this brand? Go,
are you an addict?
I don't know.
Are you an
Yeah.
addict? You're addicted to nicotine. That's sad, buddy.
Public figure. What is he thinking? I mean, like,
figure.
recognize me? I don't know. Thought about putting my hood on, but I didn't. So here's what
Fake mustache.
I didn't want to be so uncool as to go, I'm just buying this for someone else. It's not for me. That doesn't sound good. In fact, it sounds
It
like
sounds
a
like you're
lie.
buying it for an underage girl.
It sounds like a lie. So here's what I did.
What's wrong with you?
You texted me the Zin Classic 6. I read it off the phone like I was reading it from someone else's instructions.
God.
Let's see. Can I get 2 cans of
Let's see. What does he want?
let's see. Oh yeah, Zin Classic 6, please. And it worked.
Such a gem. It's such a gem. Yeah, nobody says good job. Now Ben's going to have targeted ads for months. Yeah, somebody in the chat said Ben gets arrested for trying to steal the Zins because he didn't want to buy them. I just thought when I texted you and you said you would do it, and I'm thinking about your mother, Kim, right now, listening, going, what have you done to him? Like he's buying tobacco products. That's not even tobacco. He's buying nicotine products. He's going to strip clubs. He's gambling and doing prize picks now. I mean, this is all my influence. And there's a lot of things there's a lot of things I'm proud of in my career. That his rebirth is probably number one.
Gotta be.
It's got to be number one. So thank you for getting my Zins. I gave you some extra cash for your troubles.
Isn't that the first thing you said on the show when we started 6 years ago? I'll bring that demon out of him.
Yeah, one of the 7 deadly Zins was accomplished today by you, Benjamin. So thank you for that errand that you ran. Excited about today's show. Again, we're not going to, this isn't going to be a 4-hour, pants off telling you how great we are. We're just really happy to be here as we always are, and we're really thankful for you guys. And we just couldn't do it without you, and we couldn't do it without each other. So I love you guys, both of you, and all of you out there, and everyone that helps make this show successful. And it's just been such a fun ride. And here's to another, at least six. At least 6.
I'm glad you say that. You're always the one that's threatening,
maybe 6 on
I've
the
got
nose.
maybe another year in me.
No.
Ready to retire.
In 6 more years, we'll be 54. We're out of the demo.
Young. That's
25,
young
but 25 to 54.
It's how old you are in your heart, though.
Well, then I'm
Howard Stern's like 70.
That's
and he's
true.
Still, now he only works 3 days a week.
Paulie, he works 1 day a week every 3 months, I feel like. So if we can get on that schedule, you'll have me forever till the day I drop dead. So, but thank you guys so much. We've got some Padres to talk about. We got our pal Bret Boone joining us. Ben actually will set the menu for you next. And we have such a massively special treat for you today. Such a massively special treat that our beloved Paul Reindl, who is the best in the business, has cobbled together for all of you out there. And you're going to love it. You're going to eat it up with a spoon.
All right, we're going to set the menu next. As you said, it's Baseball Eve, and I'm going to let you know about a pretty cool prize that our listeners are in for in the show today. That is coming up next with Ben and Woods. Get our first check of traffic here with Kelly Danek. Happy Wednesday morning to you. Happy 6th anniversary to both of you. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Hoping to see all of you tomorrow morning at Baja Rick's Cantina. We're going to be broadcasting live before the Padres home opener starting at 6 a.m. right on the corner of 6th and L in the Gaslamp. It's about a block from Petco Park. Festivities kick off with our show, followed by Annie and Elston from 10 to noon. Going to be giving away tickets to the Padres-Cardinals game on April 2nd. There's going to be Blue Moon, Coors Light, and Topo Chico specials. Breakfast served from 6 to 10. That's tomorrow at Baja Rick's Cantina at the corner of 6th and L in the Gaslamp. Brought to you by Blue Moon. Celebrate responsibly.
We will have a Manny Machado bobblehead, I think, to give away. We will have Padres tickets, like you just mentioned. We will have Blink 182 concert tickets to give away tomorrow.
Let's go.
And
if you come down to the Baja Cantina, we will give you tickets.
Nobody makes fun of your music.
Ben and Woods merch.
Don't they?
No, they don't. Nobody does.
They do.
Not on this show.
That's fair.
Ben and Woods merch.
We bought some Ben and Woods merch out of our own pocket.
You know why I do? It's bitterness. They stiffed us. You know how I feel about. Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow. Cool, we'll promote it. We're not going to do it now.
You should be. You're directing your anger towards the wrong person.
I am, but I'm not.
You kind of are.
He could have come on. He could have said, "I'm in Blink 182. I can do whatever I want." Suck it, right? Like
we
absolutely
tell that story now.
We can.
Anyway, we're going to be at Baja Rick's tomorrow morning, and I just wanted to let everybody know that whether or not you're going to the game, of course, you're invited. In fact, sometimes when you aren't going to the game, this makes you feel as though you're part of it by coming and joining us in the mornings. If you are going at the game, though, it's a great spot to pregame, start the day early with us. If you don't have tickets, the game is sold out. The good news is we are going to be giving away one pair of opening day tickets on the show today. All right? Tier 1s, you have an opportunity, if you don't have them yet, to win tickets to tomorrow's game against the Giants. And here is how it will work. Sometime between now and 10 a.m., you're going to hear our Tournament of Drops winner, sounder from Paulie. We're going to play it once.
Well, just once.
Just to reward you for getting up early. You should already know what it is, but Paulie.
And someone didn't secure their load of gravel.
Last week's 5th annual Tournament of Drops champion, Kelly Danick. If you hear that sound bite played by Paul, and it could happen anytime during the show, during a break, anytime between now and 10 a.m. When you hear that again, you will call us at 833-288-0973. The 7th caller is going to win opening day Padres tickets for tomorrow's game against the Giants.
It's pretty awesome. Like you thought, oh man, I can't get tickets or I can't afford tickets or whatever. And now you can win them. And all you got to do is listen to us. That's pretty good deal.
There's a conversation about like, oh, should we give them out tomorrow?
Yeah.
But like, how many people would show up downtown?
I know.
Plan their whole morning, find parking, make their way to the broadcast, hoping to get tickets. We only have one pair of tickets. Like, that would kind of suck if you didn't get them.
You get to hang out with
us.
You
get to plan your day now.
But there's a lot of uncertainty now.
We still want you to come to the party tomorrow, even if you're not going to the game. But you can plan your day. You'll know if you have them or not.
Right.
And you will know by the end of the show today if you have won those Padres tickets. But that is... that's what you're listening for. It's our Tournament of Drops winner.
Now, Tom asks a question. Are we screwed in the YouTube chat? Did they get screwed on this deal?
Honestly, and this is not me plugging the YouTube channel, YouTube is the least delay of any of the ways that you can consume our
So they will hear it.
If you're driving in your car listening to the radio, it's about the same. It's about 8 to 10 seconds delayed from where we are right now in time.
What about commercials?
The app is a little more delayed.
If you play it during commercials, they won't hear it.
Oh, you'll hear this though.
No, you'll hear
this.
Oh, you'll hear it.
Paulie will make sure that everybody hears.
You'll hear the drop.
Even if it happens during a commercial break.
It'll be like it could be like 2 minutes of silence and then just
bam.
a random drop, but you will hear it on the YouTube app.
Okay.
The Odyssey app is about 45 seconds delayed, so I'm just letting you know, like, that's the easiest way to get.
It's also why I made it the 7th caller. It'll cycle through, so Paulie will have to like let some callers through and then let other callers through. So I'm trying to make this as random as possible, but you do have to listen. And now you know what you're listening for. If people tune in an hour, they may not know what they're listening for. So that gives you the advantage, but you do have to stick around this morning. Little Radio 101 trick.
Oh. Welcome to 1987, my
But
friends.
even when we're not doing something in a commercial, like if we're just like, hey, give us a call or, first caller now, like the YouTube app is about like 8 seconds delayed. It's not
We
bad at all.
were texting back and forth
man.
last night. I was going, what are we going to do? This is a really special prize. We could give like a code word.
He was losing his mind.
Do you want to do a phrase that
Phrase that pays?
Give us the phrase
Mr.
that pays.
1982 DJ.
He
Give
really
us the
did.
phrase that pays, and you can win tickets to Padres opening day from Ben and Woods.
He goes, we can have them come in. If we give them away at the appearance, they can write a special code word down. I go, you're making this way more difficult than it has to be. I'm begging you to stop. Your brain was going overtime last night.
But essentially, we do have a phrase that pays.
We do.
It's just our Tournament of Drops
Those
champion.
promos murder me in radio. It's like, hey, caller number 3, who's this? Mary. Guess what, Mary? You're going to the Foo Fighters. Oh my gosh, no
What's
way.
the phrase that pays?
Just give us that phrase that pays. 97.3 The Fan.
Rocks my socks off. So good. What a dumb business we're in. So stupid. Oh,
All right,
boy.
it's here's what we got on the menu for today's show. First hour, we are going to it's Baseball Eve. That's what they've actually branded it Baseball
Oh,
Eve
did
on
they?
MLB Network. So the day before opening day, we will talk a bunch of baseball. The last big free agent signing, and of course, coming to the NL West,
My
just
Lord.
like everybody else. Jordan Montgomery signs with the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll talk about that deal. Yesterday's spring training finale, Padres' last exhibition game against the Seattle Mariners at Petco Park. Final roster decisions. 2 of them were made. One of them still to come for A.J. Preller, Mike Schultz. So we'll discuss the final roster as well. In our 7 o'clock hour, we've got our Take on Woods and Don't Do This segments. We're going to give away some Tom Segura, more comedy tickets as well on the program today. Don't forget, also, it's the eve of the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. Aztecs made their way to Boston yesterday. We'll talk some college basketball. Paulie has also put something together. Been working for the past few months on more Things Ben Likes. Part 3 debuts
It's unreal.
as part of our 6th anniversary
The timing
today.
worked out perfectly.
You've got your 50, another whole batch of things that Ben likes coming up
My God.
in our 7:35 segment this morning.
This one might be my favorite.
And then second half of the show, as Woods mentioned, we'll have our buddy Bret Boone is going to join us to preview, talk about the start of the Major League Baseball season. Booney, we're kind of in the final negotiations, but going to be a regular, at least a semi-regular contributor this season on the Ben and Woods program to talk baseball. Always like it with a San Diego native, Bret Boone, the Boone family, baseball royalty, and I'll always enjoy our conversations with the former Padre.
And the guests that he's been getting on his podcast have been incredible. I mean,
His official Odyssey podcast.
Yeah, he crushes it. So always excited to get some insight from Booney. And you want to talk about a guy that's gotten much, much better at his craft. Like, he didn't know anything about doing any of this a couple years ago and asked us, hey, can I come on? And we're like, yeah, sure. And it's just every time he comes on, he gets better and better, man. He's awesome.
The stories that man,
Oh.
family has are just incredible.
Are you taking credit for Bret Boone's development as a broadcaster?
I've worked with him a lot.
Yeah.
I hit him a lot of metaphorical fungos. And he's gotten really, really better. Speaking of fungos, Paulie and I were down at the field yesterday. Want to share some stories that we got, some insight.
I was not there, so I am dying. You saved this, so I'm looking forward to hearing what you saw, who you talked to yesterday down at Petco Park.
Yep.
So we'll get to that coming up. Final hour, Reindl Report. Get you ready, Annie and Elston at 10 o'clock. But that's the menu. And, of course, you're listening for the phrase that pays. And your chance to win Padres opening day tickets this morning here with Ben and Woods. Don't go away. We'll be right back on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Celebrate and save at Ashley's anniversary sale with Hot Buys. Your choice of colors starting at $399. Ashley Sleep Mattresses starting at $250, plus receive a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases only at Ashley. We had the final exhibition game yesterday, and I'm curious as to who you saw, who you talked to. Any observations from the final day of spring training, essentially, for the Padres? Woodsy and Paul went down to the game yesterday. We will get to that right after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
We are seeing plenty of activity for this time of the morning. Northbound 5 near Civic Center. There's a collision involving a car and a pickup truck there over the right shoulder. We still have this crash on the Coronado Bridge. Heading over the island just before the old toll plaza. It's over the right shoulder. Westbound King Freeway before Lemon Grove got a collision over to the right shoulder. Northbound side of the 805 on the transition ramp to westbound 54 crash. Also southbound 805 right at the eastbound 905 connector got a stalled transit bus partially blocking that transition. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So you guys went down before the game yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Padres and Mariners, second straight day wrapping up the Cactus League. Who'd you talk to? What'd you see?
First of all, I noticed it was really weird. It was still a spring training game, and they treated it like spring training. You don't typically see the guys out there like doing ground ball drills, like the whole team. Like they were all doing, it looked like a spring training practice out in Peoria at Petco Park. It was awesome.
not in season. You're not going to see
very loose
turning two and PFPs and things like that. But when we got there, we just kind of sidled up next to the fence and just kind of watching, taking it in. And we watched a group of Xander and Profar and Kimmy. I feel like there's one more person just hitting missiles, just missiles. It's always fun and never gets old. Standing down there watching them hit, and then they came off. Jake came out, got some ground balls, and then Eggy came out and did the drill, the Ron Washington drill on the knees, where they're pounding fungos and working on going through the ball. I could watch that.
About 30 feet away?
Yeah, that to me is like an adult film. I mean, I could sit and watch it for hours. I never get tired of that.
You do enjoy a good drill.
I love a good drill.
Like when Ethan Salas was
ball
doing that drill.
Oh,
we were at fantasy camp and they were throwing the ball off the wall. He was facing the wall and had to react quickly with soft hands to catch it.
They make it look so easy, and then you remember the work that goes into it to make it look so easy. It's pretty staggering. But we got to talk to Crony, and this was interesting to me. So he came up, said hello, and I go, how you doing? He's like, good. I'm like, you ready to get this thing going? He goes, yeah. He goes, it's interesting to me. I go, this is weird, right? Like the 2 games that really counted and the 2 games that don't. He goes, I love it. I go, you do? And he goes, yeah. He goes, everybody got knocks. Like we already got our first knocks out of the way. He goes, which is the absolute worst part of opening day that you've ever had. He goes, you just want to get your knocks out.
I mean, he said your first everything.
First everything.
First
ground
K,
ball.
first air, first hit.
Yeah.
Let's just say
first win.
Obviously, Jake had the rough first game with the glove, but if you're going to sit a week on a game,
right?
Sitting a week on 4 for 4 is not the worst thing in the world to be sitting a week on. Like, well, I've got a good feeling, good taste in my mouth for the next week until I get to play another game.
I literally expected his answer to be, "This is so dumb." Well, he goes, "I'm so glad we got 2 out of the way." He goes, "I know it was in Korea. I know it wasn't here. I know it wasn't opening day officially." He goes, "But to go out and like have it count was pretty cool." And I was like, I was blown away. He goes, getting your first hit of the year, then you're just like, okay, got my first knock, I can ride. So that was pretty cool. And then I talked to who is slowly becoming, not slowly, he's probably my favorite person in the entire organization, and it's Ruben Niebla. I just don't know that I've ever talked to a more dynamic, intelligent, awesome,
God, he is smart.
Awesome person. And we talked about his rotation. We talked about the arm barn. That's the first question I asked him. How are the guys in the arm barn doing? He goes, it's good. And I said, he said, I'm really happy we got Cease. Yeah, I really am. He goes, I think that's going to help us tremendously. And I said to him, I said, you got some guys down there that can bring it pretty good, man. Estrada and Brito, they're good. He's like, yeah, good stuff. Good S. That's what he said. It's all good S. And he said, he goes, I will say too, I like how much we're being underestimated. I really do. He said, I tell the guys too, hey, this is what they think of you. They think you're middle of the pack. And he goes, I like that. And gives
14th in the power
Yeah.
rankings yesterday, right smack dab in
right
the middle of baseball.
And
yeah.
he said, don't think that I don't tell them that stuff, and don't think that I don't use it as motivation either. And he just is just such a rad guy. And I'm sitting there looking at him and listening to him going, we got to figure out a way to keep this man forever. Like till he's done with baseball. He's so smart. He's so intense. But he also has this very calming way about him that, like, you want to be next to him and ask him about pitching, and he always has time for everyone. He's the
I've
best.
thought about that. Darren Balsley was one of the best, and he stuck around for an incredibly long time because there does tend to be, for whatever reason, a bias against hiring pitching coaches as managers. Now, there are exceptions. Bud Black has had a very long tenure as a skipper, but it's not the most common route to go for a manager in training to become a pitching coach. Usually, you become a base coach and then a bench coach,
yeah.
and then a manager, or you manage in the minor leagues and then you come up and manage in the big leagues. You don't generally go the pitching coach route. So will Ruben Niebla just stick around as, hopefully a successful and well-paid pitching coach in the Padres organization, or will he be one of those that makes that rare leap where a team is so enthralled and interested in him
Maybe I should
that he becomes the manager of his own team at some point?
Should I stop hyping him up?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
He is terrible. I mean, he has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing.
He's got some limited pitching knowledge.
No,
but
I mean, not really.
You would never want to trust him with your whole team.
No, absolutely.
Be a mess.
I think he's terrible. He's just awful. Don't know how he got the job. Complete and total buffoon.
He really should feel lucky to be here.
He's like the Woods of pitching coaches. There's no reason for him to be there. None whatsoever. He's an idiot as far as I'm concerned. I love the dude, man. I love him. He's hysterical and he's intense and he really wants to win. But he also has this like cool, like fatherly vibe about him too. So we talked to him. Then we saw everyone down there getting after it and working hard. And I'm just, the more I look at some of the guys that we're going to be running out there, obviously it's baseball, anything can happen. But I'm optimistic about at least some of the arms that we have. And we did ask him too. Paulie and I asked him, hey, so when you have a new season that starts and you have a bunch of new faces and that bullpen is restocked, I go, well, how long does it usually take to like you figure out, he's my this guy or he's my that? And he goes, honestly, I'd say an average is about 2 weeks. He said, could be a month. He said, but, it's the classic line that they all say, they'll tell you. They'll tell you with their performance where they belong in games. And he goes, it takes about 2 months. He goes, but in the modern day of pitching, we have to be able to completely 180 all of that on a dime. We have to be able and be prepared for that. The thought of the plotting out of the season it's too much to take. It takes a special personality. I was thinking about you last night, worried about this giveaway today. I don't think I would sleep. Just laying in bed worrying about who do I throw in the eighth? Well, is he better? And he told me, he goes, you have to think, is he better with runners on or does he need a clean inning? Is he righty, lefty? Like all this stuff matters and you have to be able to do it, on a dime. So he's just really knowledgeable. I could talk to him about pitching all day.
The Dylan Cease comment, and I think what is so relevant, and I keep thinking about as well. Yeah, it's great to have Dylan Cease just to have Dylan Cease. But what it really does is there are other teams that have, a couple of pitchers who are probably on the Cease, Darvish, Musgrove level. They're not, the number 1 and 2 pitchers in the league, but they're right there with, a number 1/number 2 type starters. But what this really does is it gives the Padres a better number 3 than most teams, and it really gives them a better number 4. Michael King pitched yesterday. He is now the Padres' number 4 starter. You're not going to find a lot of number 4 starters in baseball with the kind of stuff that Michael King brings to the table. And his results yesterday were a little mixed. He gave up a couple of home runs, one to Julio Rodriguez in the first inning, but struck out 7 in 4 2/3 innings, and you just keep hearing the same thing. He is nasty. He's a guy that other batters don't want to face. And now, with the addition of Dylan Cease, he's your number 4 guy.
Yeah.
And that makes a 3 or 4 game series against the Padres, no matter where you kind of land in the rotation, that's not fun for opposing teams to come in. There's no break. You're going to get at least probably 2 really, really nasty pitchers. And then even if you get the 5th guy, then you got to deal with a knuckleball and Waldron and something weird on the other day. So it really, I feel like it makes the challenge of facing the Padres just like exponentially more because of the addition of Dylan Cease.
Yeah, we talked about it when they acquired him, the ripple effect that it would have. And I said it's going to cost somebody a job probably. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That person will have options. They will be used at some point this season. That is a guarantee. Did you see? So Dylan Cease pitched the other night. He was okay. But a guy named Lance Brzezowski, who is a player development analyst at Watch Marquee, he tweeted, I think Dylan Cease was toying with a sweeper to right-handed hitters last night. And so he had this graph that I have no idea what it means, but I tweeted last night. He very well might have been, but you can rest assured that every time one of our pitchers gets torched this year, I'm going to say he was toying with a sweeper. It's such a good way to, get them out of trouble. So, he got lit up last night. I think he was toying with a sweeper again last night. Stop toying with your sweeper and go out there and throw strikes.
You toy with things in these games that don't count.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not supposed to toy with things once the season starts.
Darvish does. He does. He's like,
I toys. He knows what he's doing.
He does, but I think he is also a guy that's like, hey, I'm going to try this pitch at the big league level right now to this batter, and that's what's made him great because he's fearless.
So yesterday, Padres ended up losing 7-6. Usak Go gave up the lead. He didn't actually get hit that hard. He's already been optioned down to AAA. And if you were wondering, I finally read the story. He, in his contract, in his first season, he's allowed to be sent down to AAA. In his second season, he can refuse that assignment and become a free agent. But right now, he's going to get some more work down at AAA. He's an option down in the minor leagues, as are Jeremiah Estrada, who had a terrific spring training for the San Diego Padres.
Surprises me.
And Randy Vasquez, one of the additions from the New York Yankees in the Juan Soto trade. Both of those guys, I mean, really, both because they have options, are going down to start at AAA. You will see, I would imagine, both of them throughout the regular season when the Padres need arms. I don't think this is, I'm sure there was that conversation with Mike Schilt and Ruben Abel, like, this isn't, we're not, you didn't do anything wrong. This isn't an emotion. We just have 26 spots, 13 spots for pitchers, and we need extra arms that can come up and reinforce us. So that was the decision. They need to make one more though before opening day.
So are we going to get like the typical announcement from the team sometime today or even early tomorrow morning, like, here's our roster, because they've already had 2 games? Or is it just going to be the standard, the Padres have made the following roster moves today? Because they do have to make some moves.
I think they can go either way on that one. Since they have already announced a 26-man roster for the first 2 games, they can simply say we have activated Dylan Cease and we have activated Matt Waldron from our taxi squad, and we have sent Randy Vasquez and Jeremiah Estrada, option them down to AAA El Paso. Then they have
our 26-man roster is now complete.
Yeah, they have to decide. So they've got Pedro Avila, Adrian Morejon, maybe Stephen Kolek, although I think Kolek's made the team based on what we've seen already and how he's been used. So my guess
looked good yesterday.
My guess is it's Avila or Morejon for that last spot on the 26-man roster in the bullpen.
4 outs, 4 strikeouts.
So since we got on the air after the Dodgers game and said, what is the purpose of Adrian Morejon right now? And it just feels like this has just been awful, and when will he figure it out? Since that day, he has been a man on a mission, Ben. And yesterday was another one. I love being wrong. I'm so happy to be wrong when it helps our team, perform. I have no problem saying, oh, okay, if he can go in and pitch like that. Now, his obvious benefit, Ben, is he's a left-handed pitcher, and he throws really, really hard. And when he is on, he is really, really on. So I got to imagine, man, if it's me, the way he's pitched the last 2 outings, Avila, I guess I would risk that.
Well, the argument on Avila, he has no options left. And he's done it at the big league level, had a good amount of success at the end of last season. He's stretched out, so if you needed a true long reliever, a guy who could eat 3 to 4 innings for you in a game here in the first couple of weeks, he might be better suited to that than Morejon. Although Morihone obviously has done a lot of starting, and you could probably build him up fairly quickly.
I've heard
But
from
Morihone also doesn't have options. So really, it's probably
make a choice,
you're going
right?
to have to risk losing one of those two guys here coming up in the next day.
And I've talked to a couple people in the
like
know.
this game.
I know this game. This is when it gets a little bit tough. But I've talked to a couple people in the know, and they said, "Look, they really feel like the Padres are not using Morihone properly." They said, and this is somebody I really trust that knows a lot about development stuff. Said, he's a starter. Like, he needs to be starting games. I mean, even if it's a one time through the order type situation, that's the best way, in their opinion, to use an Adrian Morihone instead of a guy that comes in to get lefties out or whatever.
A lefty opener,
lefty
with
opener
a righty coming in behind him to eat more innings
would be great. Would be great. So we'll see. What methods they're going to employ this year using all of these guys, but that's a good problem to have, I guess. But Avila is just not. He has not impressed at all, and. If you lose him, are you worried the Pirates are going to pick him up and he's going to go on to great success? Maybe. Is that worth it to you if Morihone can continue to do what he can do? I think it's a no-brainer. And I think, a guy like Kolek, he's absolutely – he pounds the zone and keeps the ball down, doesn't give up a ton of hard contact. Like, that's a guy you can use. Now, you don't want to – if he goes out and gets crushed in the regular season, are you going to be lamenting – Pedro Avila, or can you go get Randy Vasquez from the minor leagues, or can you go bring up some of the other guys that they sent down? I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue.
Well, we will find out sometime probably in the next 24-plus hours what that decision is. And, if there's any way that you could sneak them through waivers and keep them in AAA, that would be ideal. But it becomes out of your hands once you make that move and submit it to Major League Baseball. All right, we'll come back. Hour number 2. Take on Woods is coming up. We will qualify someone, hopefully, for that trip to the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. But last night, we had another big free agent signing. Finally, Jordan Montgomery makes his decision, and unfortunately, he's coming to the Division II. That's next with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. I saw that it was not lost on many Padres fans and others in baseball and social media that it was about a week ago that Torey Lovello, the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, specifically requested for good players and pitchers to stop coming to the NL West. That Dylan Cease came to the Padres. He goes, what? Can we just not have all the good players come into our division? And, of course, he's part of the problem now because last night, Jordan Montgomery, the postseason left-handed pitching star for the Texas Rangers, who's been one of the last to sign in free agency, waiting, finally made his decision, and he is joining the Arizona Diamondbacks on essentially a one-year, $25 million deal that will give him an option the next year. If he pitches just 10 starts, he'll have the option to come back for a second year at least $25 million again, or he could opt out and become a free agent again at the end of this coming season. Now, whether he's there for the long term or not, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who have been making a significant investment into their already World Series participating team from last year,
I hate this so much.
Get another big starter and now have a formidable pitching rotation to go with the Padres and Dodgers. Formidable rotations in the NL West.
Ben, you have waited your entire life for an era of Padres baseball like this, where at least you're in the conversation, you're spending the money.
You got stars
You
to watch.
have star power.
Not just one, multiple stars.
What are the chances that the whole division also does the exact same thing? You can't just be one of maybe two teams in your division that are going to kind of duke it out for the top dog. The whole division is good, except for the Rockies. This is ridiculous what's going on in the NL West right now.
Well, and one of their big offseason acquisitions was Eduardo Rodriguez, and he, of course, went down. Montgomery, again, I don't know how long it's going to take him to get ready, how effective he's going to be. That said, though, he slots in as their 4. Like Dylan Cease slots in.
He'll still be able to help them throughout the long haul.
Absolutely.
He may not
it's
help them
Gallen,
much in April.
Kelly,
Fat.
Montgomery, Rodriguez.
And Fat. Brandon Fott.
Fott.
Yeah.
Fat. Who was terrific in the postseason for them.
Phenomenal in the postseason for them.
It's a great rotation.
It's a phenomenal rotation. So, I the first thing I did when I saw that they acquired Montgomery, I went and looked at his splits, and I'm like, well, we'll be fine. We have a mostly right-handed hitting lineup. He's better against right-handers than he is left-handers. He's got weird reverse splits. The one guy, I saw our buddy Tommy tweet last night, one guy that absolutely mashes Jordan Montgomery is Tommy Pham, who still is without a job. Don't know if the Japan thing was real or fake. I have no idea. But again, I still, after watching yesterday's game, I still am of the opinion that this team needs another outfielder, another bat of some sort. Now, I saw a couple names on the market, like a Luke Voigt. I don't know that you need another right-handed bat that is, feast or famine. I liked Luke Voigt a lot. Good dude, chest moss, the whole bit. But at this point, I don't know who's out there that could help you, really, other than Tommy Pham. It's pretty much the process of elimination.
I don't remember.
Decent bat, and you get the play in the field.
Yeah. I don't remember specifically if the Arizona Diamondbacks ownership made any overt comments about Peter Seidler and the Padres spending, but they certainly have been.
Didn't he?
He might have. I mean, we all remember what the Rockies owner said, and the Arizona Diamondbacks have been known as a bit of a spend-thrifty organization in recent years. So I found it interesting now that after just a little taste of success with the addition of Jordan Montgomery, they have pushed their payroll to a franchise record $178 million this season, more than the Padres, more than the Giants. They get that little taste of success, and all of a sudden they think that maybe Peter Seidler's plan of investing in a product and drawing fans to the ballpark to see a team that excites people and, win some games and can go to the playoffs, maybe that's not the worst idea that we've ever seen. So they get to levels that you would have not expected the Diamondbacks to get to with a very aggressive offseason for that team.
Yeah, very much. And as we well know here in San Diego, doesn't guarantee you a damn thing. Nothing. And when you listen to the pundits and everybody else, how many times have they said, Ben, like in your lifetime, oh, the NL East, watch out, the NL Beast, as it were, and then it turns out to be a middling, It's hard to look at the NL West right now and say it's going to be anything other than a beast.
Yeah.
But then again, I thought this team would win 105 games.
You can be surprised, but we've also said for years, the Central divisions are more mediocre, and they are. They are more mediocre. You can project and plot some of these things. Will there be surprises? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mets and Padres weren't nearly as good as we thought they were on their spending last year, but NL West is going to be tough this year.
No doubt.
It's going to be tough. That doesn't mean that the Padres can't finish with a winning record and make the playoffs, but they are in a much tougher spot than, say, the Cincinnati Reds or the Cleveland Guardians based on their divisional opponents.
Like the AL Central. It's like Guardians could surprise and win the division. The Twins could win that division.
Kansas City could be really fun, but
that would be still a bit of a surprise for them to really contend. And then you got the Tigers and you got the White Sox.
Yep.
I know you just mentioned the AL East, like the days of the Red Sox and the Yankees just duking it out at the top,
and
then
the Rays,
3 teams of crap.
Yep.
Because really, I'm talking like the mid 2000s, like. There was nobody else in that division.
No,
you look at the
nobody
NL West
worried
nowadays. You wish it was just the Dodgers and the Padres, like just signing superstar, matching signings and stuff like that.
No, it's 4 teams.
Now there's 4
duking
teams.
it out to reign supreme in the NL West. So I thought it was a good signing for them. I thought Montgomery would have been a good signing for anyone. I thought he was a really good signing for anybody.
Good price too. I think absolutely fair for everybody.
Yeah.
You got Take on Woods coming up here in a couple of minutes. If you want to try to call in now, be our contestant, take on Woods in our trivia music challenge, and win a trip to Las Vegas. 833-288-0973. That's the number to call. 833-288-0973. Just be glad, I guess, that they went to the more balanced schedule a couple of seasons ago, and you're not playing 19 or 20 games against the Dodgers, and 19 games against the Diamondbacks, and 19 games against the Giants. Still playing 13, which is a lot, but if you had those extra 6 series against those 3 teams...
That seems absurd now that we even allowed that to happen for as long as we did.
It really does.
You could almost, if they were still playing the unbalanced schedule, you could pretty much say there's no way that you could get all 3 of those teams wild cards, or 2 of them even as wild cards. Now, at least you could have the option of beating up on the interleague opponents and the Central Division opponents, and maybe just kind of treading water against the other teams in your division, and you can make the playoffs that way. But in the old unbalanced schedule, that really wouldn't work.
No.
There's just not enough games against the other teams to make up for the fact that there's only so many wins to go around in the NL West.
And it does make it, if you do make the playoffs, it makes it that much sweeter, and you are a little bit more battle-tested, but you also are probably a little bit more ground down. The baseball season in and of itself is a tremendous grind for those guys. Now having to do it, knowing that you've got really 4 teams in it in your division is rough. It's rough. So I can't wait to see how it plays out, man. And we've got a lot of talent here in San Diego, and I think there's still talent to be had. I'm really interested to see if anything happens before tomorrow's game. I mean, you go out and get Tommy Pham today. Is he in the lineup tomorrow?
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But
nor is, as you said, Jordan Montgomery's not pitching for a while.
Yeah.
We're not sure about Blake Snell still entirely when he's going to make his Giants debut.
Yeah.
I talked to somebody yesterday that said he ain't pitching next week.
It's going to be a while.
Take on Woods coming up in a second. 833-288-0973. I saw Mike Yastrzemski is probably going on paternity leave.
Yeah.
Maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the Giants this weekend. Keep an eye on that. Coming up on the program, if you missed it earlier, we've got a couple of big giveaways ahead. Tom Segura comedy tickets this hour, and you're listening for our Tournament of Drops winner. Now, you should know what that is, but we're not going to remind you. When you hear it,
Can't play it again.
You're going to call in and try to win opening day Padres tickets. We got a pair of opening day Padres tickets between now and the end of the show. You're listening for Paulie to play our Tournament of Drops winner. Could happen at any time. If you hear it, 833-288-0973. That's when you call in to win. Right now, though, we are going to play a little Take on Woods. All right, let's go to Mike as our contestant this morning. Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Now you're in. Take on Woods is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. I was just there yesterday to get my coolant topped off. It only takes 15 minutes. You don't have to get out of your car. I did not. For directions and discounts, go to SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. All right, 5 questions for you, Mike. Then Woods gets the same 5. If you beat or tie him, we will put you into our grand prize monthly drawing for a 2-night stay at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and dinner for 2. Immerse yourself in the timeless elegance at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. Book now at FontainebleauLasVegas.com. Give you the advantage of picking our category today. Here are your choices. We've got Chow Time. Those are musical artists and song titles, including the word eat. We have Sunshine Through the Decades. It's an all 2-second song category with the word sunshine being key. And our new category, Come and Go. They 5 song titles that start with either the word come or the word go. So Sunshine Through the Decades, Chow Time, or Come and Go. Mike, what would you like to play?
Let's go with Come and Go.
Come and Go. All right, new category today. 5 song titles, and they all start with either the word come or the word go.
Dad.
Paulie, why are you giggling over there?
Why do you think?
Because you're a child with a very immature brain. All right, you'll have 60 seconds. If you don't know an answer, Mike, you say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. The 2-second song, Paulie's going to play a little clip. You need to give me the song title and the artist to score that one to get going. Mike, are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Again, the category is come and go.
Stop.
Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Mike. Let's take on Woods.
Oh, that's Nirvana. Pass.
Which Lindsey Buckingham written song from the 1997 Fleetwood Mac Rumors album begins, "Loving you isn't the right thing to do"?
Pass.
Which 1977 top 10 hit for Styx starts as a soft piano ballad and ends with bombastic guitar-heavy second half?
Come Sail Away.
Correct. Don't Know Why. And which title track were the 2 biggest hits from Norah Jones's 2002 debut album?
Pass.
The recently deceased Eric Carmen wrote which 1972 debut single for the Raspberries that became the band's biggest and most enduring hit?
Pass.
Go back to our 2-second song, see if you can get the title.
Come As You Are.
Correct. Which
Nirvana.
Lindsey Buckingham written song for the... All right, you snuck that one in. Come As You Are by Nirvana, and you got Come Sail Away. The Rumors album, Loving You Isn't the Right Thing to Do, that's Go Your Own Way. Norah Jones is Come Away With Me. And Eric Carmen and the Raspberries is Go All the Way, which is a terrific song. Eric Carmen just passed away a week or 2 ago, if I remember. So let's bring Woods in. We got 2 as our score to beat today. Hang on the line there, Mike. Mike is our contestant today. Woods does not get the category. Makes it much trickier for him. Put 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Mike.
Come As You Are, Nirvana.
Correct. Which Lindsey Buckingham written song from the 1997 Fleetwood Mac Rumors album begins, "Loving You Isn't the Right Thing to Do"?
Go Your Own Way.
Correct. Which 1977 top 10 hit for Styx starts as a soft piano ballad and ends with a bombastic guitar-heavy second half?
Come Sail Away.
Correct. Don't Know Why. And which title track were the 2 biggest hits from Norah Jones's 2002 debut album?
I Didn't Come.
Incorrect. The recently deceased Eric Carmen wrote which 1972 debut single for the Raspberries became the band's biggest and most
crap.
enduring hit?
Oh, I just listened to this.
Great song.
Here We Go.
No, but you're on the right track.
Come and Go,
Come and
right?
Go.
Yeah,
Yes, he knows the
I figured out
category.
the
Very
category.
good. He figured out the category. Yeah, it's
How many did I get?
Come As You got 3. Mike got 2.
2. Oh.
Mike, thank you for playing. Didn't happen today. Woods sneaks it out. The 2 you didn't get were Come Away With Me,
Oh,
Norah
cool.
Jones.
What did I say? I didn't.
I don't
We
know
don't
that I
need
can
to
repeat
repeat
it.
that
Didn't
one.
come.
And Go All the Way is the Raspberry song
Go
with
All
that
the Way.
iconic beginning of that
Great.
song. Can you call up Go All the Way by the Raspberries in honor of the late Eric Carmen, who just passed away a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, Paulie could not stop sniggering.
I mean, I'll play it for you during the
Snigglings?
break. He's just like,
At the category.
been very
Come
tough.
and Go was the name of the category.
I don't know why.
every song title with the word "come" in it.
I didn't.
He said that. I'm like, stop! I said, shut up.
It's a word we all use every day. Stop laughing so much.
But
You're
you
not
do.
12. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. Don't Do This is happening at the moment right now here on Ben and Woods. We'll get to the official Don't Do This in just a second. Terrible incident from the women's NCAA basketball tournament involving the University of Utah women's basketball team. Get to that and more coming up next after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
He's so flustered.
So flustered.
On your way to work and want to keep listening to us even after you park the car with the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com, you can. Just download the app or visit Odyssey.com, search 97.3 The Fan, and click on our show. Download the Odyssey app today to get started. All right, someone's camera is not pointed where it should be, and for once it is actually
It's not me.
Paul. It's usually Woods or me, but for
Because
once
I
it is
never
Paul.
get up during the show, and I actually did.
You did.
Today.
All right, so I will start with a disturbing incident from the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament. It took place, in the Spokane Regional, which ironically is where the Aztecs were just playing in the men's NCAA Tournament. But Gonzaga's women earned the right to host their first two-round games, so they were one of the regions where NCAA Women's Tournament games were being played this weekend as well. The problem was they had the men's tournament that was already there. And they also had a big volleyball tournament and now the women's tournament. And there weren't any hotel rooms left in Spokane, Washington. So they had to farm some of the women's teams out about 45 minutes. And the University of Utah ended up staying in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, about 45 minutes away. And Utah coach Lynn Roberts said while her team was at the team hotel in Idaho that they experienced a horrible racial incident with people yelling, racial epithets at members of her basketball team.
My God.
And she addressed it in front of the media yesterday.
1 second.
This happened last Thursday night right after the team arrived in Coeur d'Alene. It's just across the border from Washington
we had,
to Idaho.
Several instances of some kind of racial hate crimes towards our program, and incredibly upsetting for all of us. And you think in our worlds, that in athletics and in university settings, it's shocking. In a there's so much diversity on a college campus, and so you're just not exposed to that very often. And so when you are, it's like, and you have people say, man, I can't believe that happened. But, racism is real, and it happens. And it's awful. And so for our players, whether they are, white, black, green, whatever, no one knew how to handle it,
And so apparently what happened is they were walking to a restaurant that was right by the hotel, and some guys in a truck pulled up, drove past them and started shouting, racial epithets and things at them. Ultimately, and probably rightfully so, they requested a change of team hotel and moving somewhere else where they felt a little safer and more comfortable. But it's horrible to see this in the year 2024 in the NCAA tournament.
Sports Radio 1955. I mean, come on, man. That's terrible. I feel terrible for them. The Dodgers are bound and determined to continue to roll over Ippei Mizuhara, Ben. I thought it was an interesting quote from Dave Roberts yesterday. He's had a couple of interesting ones. Remember when he said Mookie Betts is what did he say? The permanently temporary shortstop or something. It was right. It didn't make any sense. And yesterday I found this
permanent
quote,
for the time being.
Permanent for now.
For now.
Yeah, he's permanent for now. I found this one a little bit odd and interesting yesterday. They were asking him about Ippei and his absence, and here's from Fabian Ardaya, who covers the Dodgers for The Athletic. He says, Dave Roberts described Ippei's absence as the removal of a buffer between the organization and Shohei Ohtani. He said it was difficult at times having to communicate with Mizuhara as the middleman, and is hoping this leads to more direct communication. He's already apparently been more engaging with his teammates since Ippei has gone. But there's still going to be a middleman. Yes, there still needs to be a translator between. Now, again, I think they're doing a good job at painting Ippei out to be like the worst person in the world. He's already dead. You don't have to, metaphorically speaking, you don't have to continue to roll the truck over him yesterday, too. There was also an update from ESPN that said Shohei's representatives declined again on Tuesday to answer ESPN's questions about which authorities they've actually contacted to report the theft. ESPN has been asking repeatedly for the information since his lawyers first said, look, it's a victim of massive theft. We are turning the matter over to the authorities. Doesn't mean they haven't yet.
Well, I did see some reporting that the IRS and the Department of Homeland Security are looking into it, as well as federal attorney, perhaps, that there are multiple organizations and jurisdictions that are handling and looking into the Ipe Mizuhara gambling investigation.
Which is what makes this case so fascinating, is the hard and fast stance that Shohei took, in his press conference the other day. And, again, it's certainly not something that's going to go away. I don't know that I've ever wondered a question aloud more than I did yesterday. Where is Ipe? When is he going to talk? Where is he?
If ever.
If ever. Interesting stuff.
By the way, if you're wondering, how Shohei's being treated in the wake of all this, got a standing ovation and a tribute video last night from the Los Angeles Angels in his return to Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Very warm reception, even after signing with the Dodgers for $700 million and the whole gambling thing. They were very kind to him on his return. They honored him, obviously, as the MVP, reigning MVP of the American League.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. Then he caved. Yeah, so that was cool.
All right, finally, a little do this update for you.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Mentioned earlier in the week that the Cal State San Marcos women had advanced to the Division II Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament, and congratulations, because they pulled off a massive upset of the number 1 seed Gannon, Missouri, in the Elite Eight, and have moved on to the final 4 of the NCAA Women's Division II basketball tournament. They are going to play their Final Four game tonight against number 13 ranked Minnesota State at 6:30 p.m. our time, with the winner moving on to the national championship game. So congratulations to Coach Renee Jimenez and the Cal State San Marcos women, who are now 2 wins away from bringing a national championship to the North County, which is pretty impressive considering, I grew up, there wasn't even a Cal State San Marcos in existence. And now they're there, they're competing on the D2 level, and they're competing for a national championship. So that's pretty cool.
Very cool. And the men's tournament kicks off again tomorrow, right?
Correct.
No more action.
Yeah, the Aztecs and Yukon Huskies both made their way to Boston yesterday. The Aztecs 3,000 miles, the Huskies 85 miles.
0.1. 85.1 miles from stores.
There was probably some traffic.
A little bit.
On the drive.
Took them like an hour
You used
and
to
45.
live there. Is there a lot of traffic in Connecticut, the drive to Boston? Did you ever do the drive to Boston?
We did.
Did you live near stores?
I did not live near stores. I lived near Hartford. I didn't drive much then, so there was not a lot of traffic around Simsbury, which is very, very suburban. But anywhere in the Northeast, there's traffic. If you try to drive to Boston, you're going to hit traffic. Drive to New York, there's traffic.
And all those roads are like toll roads up there as well?
Yeah, it's not ideal.
No, I can't imagine. That's Don't and Do This for a Wednesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Paulie's been working, as he has been, quietly, diligently. And once again, for the past few months, has been collecting all the things that I like.
This is unreal. The new.
We already had
crop.
2 editions that he created the first one, surprising everybody. And then he surprised even you with the second edition for our holiday and Christmas extravaganza.
That's
now
right.
Here we are, just over 3 months later.
And there's already more. We're not putting them all together, right? Because that would take 15 minutes.
Right. We'll just do
the new batch.
Since the Christmas and holiday extravaganza.
3 months ago.
3 months. The first one we said we got to get to 50. I think we're at like 48, 47 on this one, but I was like, close enough.
Close enough.
It's opening day eve. It's our 6th anniversary of the show. Let's have some fun.
All right, we'll get to that coming up next. Don't forget, 1 hour from now, Bret Boone is going to join us. Don't go anywhere. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Wanted to wish a very happy birthday to one of our most loyal and vocal tier ones, Jordan, all the way out in North Carolina. We are huge along the eastern seaboard. So happy birthday, Jordan. That was Coldplay. I put that song in our bumper specifically for him.
It's his only flaw.
And it just...
He's a great guy. Maybe our best listener,
Maybe.
most active listener.
There's nothing wrong with older Coldplay. I don't know when they decided to turn into the chain smokers, but they did. And it's very tough. But he loves Coldplay so much. I put that in there for him. And it is his birthday today. So happy birthday. I know he's listening.
So his birthday is always our anniversary as well.
Yeah, which
it's
is
easy
great.
to remember.
Is it?
I would think so.
I ask 100 times a year when our anniversary
That's a good
is.
point.
I always forget.
I always know about when it is. It's right usually before opening day.
Yeah.
Because we started right before the baseball season started.
Crazy.
6 years ago.
Today.
But the actual day, I guess it's the 27th. So
Yep.
we can try to remember that going forward.
3/27. A day that will live in infamy.
It will.
Yep.
So, yeah, happy birthday, Jordan. Got to meet Jordan when I went out. Actually, it was 1 year ago, maybe this week, that I was out in North Carolina on my trip to Pinehurst. And Jordan said, I would love to meet you. And I go, I'm on golf vacation. But I said, all right, I have to wait around at the airport for my buddy to arrive. If you want to come to the Raleigh airport and sit with me at the baggage claim for an hour,
That's dedication.
be my guest. And he did.
He did.
And we had a great
Good
conversation
kid.
just sitting on a bench there in the Raleigh baggage claim, RDU, Raleigh-Durham Airport.
He's
So,
a good kid.
Nice to meet him.
I'm
a year
surprised
ago.
you weren't able to catch like a free meal off of him or something, or a ride or something.
There wasn't much in the baggage claim area
To get.
to go and get and enjoy.
Because
So
Jordan, he would have let you 100% buy him lunch in a heartbeat.
I would have let Jordan buy
Yes,
me lunch.
yes,
Absolutely, I would
of
have let that
course.
happen.
Of course.
But no, we were just heading on. We were heading to dinner as soon as my buddy arrived.
That's
so
right.
I didn't really want to eat. We just sat there, we chatted, had a nice time. So happy birthday, Jordan.
Happy birthday, buddy.
I like
Happy
Jordan.
birthday.
I do. I like Jordan.
I like Jordan.
And I
too.
like a lot of other things, and we're going to share those coming up in just a second here. First, this hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by your local San Diego County, the UPS Store. Your local San Diego County, the UPS Store locations are hosting a shred event. Starts today through March 30th. 50% off shredding services. Visit the upsstore.com for the location nearest UC store for details. Part 3 of Things Ben Likes. Coming up after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Guys, we're not seeing much relief on our roads this morning. Northbound side of the 15, a hit-and-run crash right before Ocean View. It's partially blocking lanes. Now, up ahead, North 15 before Arrow Drive. Accident involving a motorcycle has just been cleared out of the 3 left lanes, so you know you're going to see some residual there. And a crash has just been moved over the right shoulder on westbound 52, just past the 125. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I like a lot of things. I like Chick-fil-A sauce. I just like rankings. I like Steve Winwood. I like Pie Gal Poker. I like to be informed on subjects. I like Chicago. I like Tom Petty. I like the idea of another left-handed bat in the lineup for sure. I do like a good Matt Damon film. I like being on the same page. I like broccoli. I like Brussels sprouts. I like a lot of things. I like this shirt. I like Wipeout. I liked my omelet. I like San Diego State at home. I like when a baseball player can be more than just a baseball player. I like vanilla. I like the atmosphere. I like the felt on a poker table. Just kind of how it feels under your fingers when you're there. I like rhubarb pie. I like the window seat. Changing the subject. I like that. I like just the standard yellow peep. I like how San Diego State's playing right now. I like finer things. I like calling a game. I like fiction more than nonfiction. Just like the cream. I actually like playing golf with other people. I've liked everything I've seen so far from Mike Schill. I like Mexican food. I like just the solar system. I do like steak. I like specifics. I like going to 7 Mile Casino during the day. I like that people are there having a good time. I like my new eating schedule. I liked what I was eating. Yeah, I like the variety of the menu at Sammy's. I do like a good midnight buffet.
Jesus, it's incredible, man. It is incredible. I like the standard yellow peep. Just the yellow peep is unbelievable.
I had forgotten some of those.
It's incredible.
I like the solar system.
Oh my God, man. Kaz says, why is everything Ben says funny? It's so true. If it was me, it wouldn't be funny. It's just, it kills me. I like the shirt. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Some of my favorites here. Yeah,
I like the felt on a poker table, just kind of how it feels under your fingers
It's
when you're
amazing.
there.
It's incredible.
I like just the solar system.
That's so good.
I like just the standard yellow peep.
We have like 150 of those now.
I do like a good Matt Damon film.
That's so good. I don't know what he sounds like, but
Very emotional about
yeah,
it.
I do like a good Matt Damon film.
I do like a good Matt Damon film.
fighting back tears.
Midwestern.
You sound like you're 60 years old.
Sound like you're his dad.
I do like a good Matt Damon film. Sling Blade.
Changing the subject. I like that.
I love that, dude. That is so.
It's
so,
always good when there's something, comma.
Yes.
I like that as
God,
well.
That's brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, Paulie, collecting those. At some point, we will need to hear the entire magnum opus, and it will be an entire segment, I'm sure.
I was remiss a little bit earlier, but I did want to give away. We've got Tom Segura comedy tickets. We've been giving away all week. I promised to give them out here in the 7 o'clock hour of the show. So now is your opportunity to win 2 tickets to Tom Segura at Pechanga Arena. Very popular comedian. November 8th. Tickets go on sale Friday at AXS.com. That's access.com. But you can win them now. Be the 5th caller, 833-288-0973. Call now, 833-288-0973. Paulie will quietly be answering the phones over there. Good luck winning the Tom Segura tickets here from 97.3 The Fan. All right, speaking of things people like, I don't know that I love it necessarily aesthetically, but it sounded like Padres players like the fact that they removed the ivy from the batter's eye at Petco Park. And you were out there yesterday, got to see it, saw it at the Peter Seidler celebration of life as well. Last year, if you'll recall, the Padres, in a just to try to make things look a little bit nicer, covered the big batter's eye blue building out in center field, the back of the Saquon stage at Gallagher Square, with kind of fake hanging green ivy to replace the solid batter's eye.
Yeah.
And it looked very nice.
It did look nice.
But there were certain players who felt that it was not the best visual environment to pick up a baseball from the pitcher's hand out of the mound. There was some shiny reflections off of it, and it could just maybe distract a little bit. So they've gone back to the old style, very blue building like it used to be at
ripped it all down
at Petco Park, took it all off, and just going to go with the big plain giant blue background, which was, by the way, extended a few years, I believe, into Petco Park after it opened. They realized there was who was it? Jeff Francis, remember him?
Yeah,
pitcher.
I do.
He came so far. He lined up so far on the edge of the rubber and came so like from the side that the ball was not coming in the batter's eye. It was coming from just to the side of the batter's
so like
eye.
maybe even like the sky or something.
Yeah, just kind of out there, at the park, the bullpen area, and it wasn't getting caught. So they had to actually extend the sides of the buildings a little bit more to make sure that no matter how far a pitcher reaches to the side, that ball would still have the good backdrop. And while I don't know statistically if they can say that, struggling offensively had anything to do with the ivy, but there are some numbers to back it up.
There's some numbers in the UT. With a mostly uniform navy blue wall, Petco Park ranked 20th and 21st in StatCast Park Factor metric in the year 2020 and 21, respectively. After the ivy was added, Petco Park ranked dead last in 22 and 27th last year. So Padres CEO Eric Rubner said, look, we regularly seek feedback from coaches and players regarding how to create the best environment for winning baseball at Petco Park during the offseason. We worked with our players to identify changes to the batter's eye. I think it looks not as good, but as long as they hit, I don't care. I couldn't care less. Put in the ideal batter's eye for these guys. And it is important. It is. If you've ever played baseball, the center field, you need to be able to kind of pick up the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand. So,
Jake was
It's a lot more important that they can see the ball well
than
it
looks
what
good.
we think looks good.
Correct.
Yeah, Jake was one of the players who said, not blaming any struggles on the ivy, but I do prefer not having it there.
Well, and he actually said, I wish every stadium had the same batter's eye, something that you could. Now, I do like the charm of different ballparks, certainly. It's what makes baseball great and not, a homogenized old Astrodome-looking or Metrodome-looking fields. That's great. But again, when you're going up there and a guy's throwing 97-mile-an-hour sinkers on your hands, you want to be able to pick that up, I think. So, look, if it helps, it helps. I'm all for it.
We had a winner of the Tom Segura tickets, so everybody was saying, can I hang up now? It's ringing, but Paulie already got our winning caller, who was the
David.
David, congratulations on the Tom Segura tickets. Now, don't forget, keep listening for our Tournament of Drops champion. When you hear that soundbite, and you should know what that is, we're not going to play it. You should know what it is. If you hear that, be the 7th caller at 833-288-0973, and we are giving away one pair and one pair only of opening day tickets to tomorrow's Padres-Giants game at Petco Park.
Oh, boy.
With the batter's eye that no longer has the ivy, but that does have a really beautiful new Gallagher Square.
Yep.
Some new food items that were introduced this week that they said will be added to the Petco Park menu, including a Spiro's Mediterranean cuisine. Good 97.3 The Fan advertiser. You can get gyros and Mediterranean bowls at Spiro's now. They've added a place that we have in Encinitas. It's part of the Buena Forchetta family, Gelate and Peccati.
Place is awesome.
Where they have pizza slices.
I didn't know
ice
they
cream.
added that, man. We go
They
there
did?
all the time.
They did, to Petco Park. And I will throw in this because I've been there before. On's Dry Cleaning, which doesn't sound like it's a food restaurant, but they make gelato. It's in North Park, right on Adams, at the top of 30th.
Do they also do dry
They
cleaning?
do not do any dry cleaning.
Because that, you want to
But that's
lure
the
me
name.
in.
That's the name. It was ranked, I think, by Yelp, like the number 2 ice cream shop in America last year. They have added a location inside Petco Park. I think it's in the Mercado area.
Bastards. That's going to be happening tomorrow.
And they also have some unique flavors of gelato that I want to look this up because
Should do a real or fake with it.
I could do a real or fake gelato flavors.
Well, you can do it now and then do it later.
But it was I went there a couple months ago to try it, and it really was good. And they're bringing it inside Petco Park.
And again, it's called Ann's.
Let me see if I can find it because it was it's Ann's Dry Cleaning in North Park, but they have a very long name for it in Petco Park. Let me see if I can find it.
We'll wait.
I know. I can do this. It's just a matter of searching correctly. It's Ann's Athletic Field Services and Specialty Turf and Dirt Project Concepting, Maintenance, Repair, and Fortification.
That was done on purpose.
That's why I couldn't remember the name specifically.
That sounds like something we would do.
So here are the items. These are all real
Okay.
on the menu.
These are real.
At the gelato station. Chalk, which is a lemon and almond sorbet, vegan. Clay, Nutella gelato with brownie pieces. Silt, which is cookie butter gelato and Biscoff cookies. I love Biscoff cookies. They're like the little cinnamon
Should've said
sugary.
I like Biscoff cookies.
There's sand, which is fig and vanilla made with local Jackie's jams. And then there's cotton, which is like a horchata flavor, rice milk, cinnamon gelato. So those are the special flavors at Ann's Athletic Field Services and Specialty Turf and Dirt Project Concept and Maintenance, Repair, and Fortification.
I'd like to do live reads with them. Hey, guys, it's your old pal Woods for Ann's Fortification.
We do a live broadcast from there. We are live from...
Ann's Athletic Field Services and Specialty Turf and Dirt Project Concepting, Maintenance, Repair, and Fortification. And I think you can find that in the Mercado, kind of around the back where you're looking out toward the bay there from the Mercado.
My mouth is watering. I always get, how do you say it? Buena Forchetta?
Buena Forchetta.
Yeah, I always get that at the ballpark. I will always go to Grand Old Barbecue and get their pulled pork sandwich.
Grand Old Barbecue's back.
With hot mustard, and it is just staggeringly good. The lines are always pretty long, so it's like the first thing I do when I get in is try to grab my pulled pork sandwich.
I don't know
see,
how
they-
it's so polarizing, but the tri-tip nachos are
Tri-tip
They're back.
still the best.
back
They
and
added
delicious.
another location for the hot hen sandwiches.
Those things
which
are
were really good.
Unreal.
Like a Fresno chili slaw. Those are good hot chicken
I
sandwiches.
think that is the place. My wife showed me a hot dog. That
Yes,
she
I
saw.
saw a
I think
hot dog.
Sammy posted it or 97.3 posted it. It's got like potato chips, maybe a little chili,
Thought I saw some jalapeno.
jalapeno. Like
on
there's
there.
a lot going on. I think we're gonna be checking that out.
I'm starving.
Yeah.
Right now. Starving.
That definitely is a hunger-inducing
I
conversation.
think I will have a cough drop to satiate my hunger because that's all I have.
And you can still get all the, standard
Yeah.
hot dog, popcorn, peanuts, Cracker Jack, ballpark items still available.
Well, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. I'm also looking forward to trying some of the new things that they have to offer. They do a great job. I mean, they do a great job. We'd like to see some dubs at home, on the field, certainly, but at least know that you will be leaving there with a full and satisfied belly when you leave Petco Park tomorrow. Can't guarantee a win. I can guarantee you'll be satisfied with the food.
It's Yu Darvish and Logan Webb, right, in the first game of the season tomorrow.
Old Bob Melvin across the way.
Do you think it helps that the Padres have played a couple of real games?
I just told you it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake Cronenworth said the guys were so happy to get those first
Yeah.
ABs out of the way and get like real knocks and, games that count because I'm sorry, it's just not the same. Yesterday's game against the Mariners, it's not played with the same intensity. You saw Xander, oh my God, almost get picked off second base, got dropped the ball. You saw him kind of Cadillac it from second to home on a single. Great. That's exactly what I want. I don't need you busting it out of the
You
box.
actually saw Mike Schilt come out and argue the final play
Yeah,
of the game.
yeah.
Like, I think everyone's good having spring training be over, Mike. We don't need this game to continue. It's fine, but he did actually argue it at the end of the game yesterday. All right, we'll come back. 2 hours to go. It's our 6th anniversary. Bret Boone is going to join us next hour. Do not go anywhere. More Ben and Woods on the way on 97.3 The Fan.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, we're halfway home on our anniversary, our 6 years together. 6 years in the books. Year 7 starts now. Expect it to be a big one, a good one. But obviously, we can't do it without you guys. So please continue to listen. And listen, we will do our very best to make you happy and keep you entertained. I live for it. I live to make you laugh. My favorite tweets of all time, somebody just tweeted, spit my coffee out, listening to things Ben likes. I mean, those never get old to me. That's like my sustenance. When we can get you to spit your coffee out in your car and your drive in, that's what I live for. So
I don't know if this is a compliment or not, but Quacked on Padres said this drop supercut of Ben Higgins is literally almost a highlight reel of a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's so
Am
good.
I that much of a simpleton, though? That the things that please me are the same things.
I liked my omelet.
I like San Diego State at home. I like when a baseball player can be more than just a baseball player.
The only difference is a 5-year-old would change his mind the next day about the things that he likes. You know what you like, and you like the way you've set up your life.
I'm genuine that I try to be a positive person.
You are.
And see the bright side of things. And there's no reason you can't like a lot of things.
He likes a lot of stuff.
Because the opposite is just hating everything.
That's me.
He likes everything. He loves very little, though.
Ben and I, yes.
I'm not even sure he loves you and me.
That's so
I
true.
think he likes you
He
and
likes
me.
us. He tolerates. He said it
He
yesterday.
puts up with us.
Yeah, Ben and I I'm the one that hates everything. I mean, I'm like, oh, God, I hate this. I hate that.
And I mean, that is the origin of things Ben likes.
Yeah.
It was directly stolen from the Howard Stern show.
Literally
that we listen to
kited.
religiously. Yes. He's the greatest to ever do talk radio.
Right.
And they would do a thing once a year of everything that Howard hates for the year. And it's just, I hate computers. Traveling on airplanes. I hate politics. I hate
all of it.
I hate when my soup is too hot. Like, it's just the most ridiculous things. And I thought, we had a couple of things that Ben said he liked.
I noticed. I'm like, he likes a lot of stuff, dude. A lot. Like, he's always saying,
we just wanted to do the exact opposite. It worked out
so
beautifully.
Good. So good. It's great to be here with you guys. And yeah, I mean, we take it seriously, trying to entertain and make you laugh and, tell our side of the story, certainly, and talk about our lives and the funny things that happen. And, but listen, I'm very lucky to be able to do this, and especially with these two guys in here. These guys are good human beings, which is the most important thing, and very rare in this business. That is every year the number one ranked business for sociopaths. Every single year, radio and television personalities, the number one most sociopaths walking amongst us. They are in this industry, and I could absolutely back that up. I mean, absolutely 100% in a court of law say you're 100% right. So I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer, Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor who likes a lot of stuff. And today,
is that sociopathic to like as many things as I do?
No, it's not. It's not sociopathic. Why would that be sociopathic?
I don't know. I'm a little weird. I know.
You're a little weird, but I love that about you. Your weirdness is what delights me. You still delight me. Every time I learn something new, and I'm still learning so much new about you, like the fact that you sleep on top of the covers, it blew my mind. I think about it 3 to 4 times a day.
Got a little chilly last night, so I put
get under?
one leg under.
One leg?
One leg.
Really?
Kind of moderate my temperature a little bit.
So weird.
I have it available if I ever need to just slip a foot or half of a leg. I had a whole leg under last night.
One whole leg?
Yeah.
It blows me away. It really does.
But you're on top of all the blankets.
Yeah, everything.
On the very top.
Doesn't that suck for your wife? Like, she can't move the blanket.
She has her
all?
own blanket. We have 2 different blankets, so she's learned that if there was one, it would be
you'd be screwed.
I'd be
You're a
on
big
top
guy.
of it, and she couldn't move hers. So we actually put 2 separate blankets, one that I lay on top of, and one that she gets under.
My wife had when we first got married and moved in together, we had that Craftmatic bed where half of it would raise and the other half. And when she was pregnant, she liked to sleep upside down, so the
legs up.
And like I would roll over in the middle of the night and fall through a crack. A pillow would get wedged down there. I was like,
We had that. We
I
had
go,
the up and down.
you guys make it look so great on the commercial. It looks so great. Look at this couple, and they're sleeping, and one guy's up and one guy's down.
Dude, I love bringing the head up just a little bit and then the feet up just a little bit. You're like in a little cradle.
I need to be flat. Flat.
I got mine
flat.
from Mattress Makers, and putting my head up has pretty much eliminated. I don't even need my CPAP anymore. My snoring
Really?
is gone. Yeah. Well, I think losing the weight also
That helps.
helped a tremendous amount over the last few months. But I don't wake up in the night anymore. Shelly never says anything
All
about
right.
the snoring. I don't get kicked in the middle of the night, which is terrific.
So I have another confession to make about something that I bought on Instagram under the influence of Ambien, which I take to sleep. But I finally did it. I finally hit one. So to recap, in the last since we've been at 97.3 The Fan, all right, try to remember what I've bought. Unbeknownst to me, it will show up at my house, and I'll go, "What in the world?" I bought some chocolate milk protein drinks that showed up a case of them.
The Joe Frazier sweatshirt.
That's the one I was trying to think of. Who was on that sweatshirt? Yeah.
Joe Frazier. And then like on the back, it's like Madison Square Garden, 1970. My wife goes, "What in the F is that? Who is Frazier?" I go, "He was a boxer." She goes, "What are you, a big Joe Frazier fan?" I go, "I don't know. Look cool." It was like Padres brown and yellow. I wake up and I have a delivery of something that I bought. Well, I finally hit one. I bought a sleep mask. And I think I mentioned it when I bought it, but I've used it. Hannah said to me, "You don't like wake up or stir anymore at all whatsoever." The thing is this, it's as big as like ski goggles, and it's completely blacks out your eyes, and you
They're
can't.
the best. I have one. I told you to get one like a year ago.
It like cups your eyes. It like there's like suction cups almost, and I sleep like a baby.
Does it
now.
have the Bluetooth?
There's no. I didn't get that one.
I got the one with it's got flat, little, tiny blue like speakers that you can Bluetooth to, and it's not like an AirPod where it's kind of bulky, and if you lay it on your side, it might hurt. Like they're flat, and it's just perfectly right around your ear.
I feel like I'd wake up and feel so disoriented if I couldn't see anything at all.
It's the greatest. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, dude, it's changed my life. Like I took it to spring training with us. Like I can't sleep without it. It's weighted. Yeah, it's like weighted.
Yep.
Manta. That's it. The Manta mask.
It's a game changer.
That MFR was like $80 for a sleep mask, and it showed up in a like big box with a big case and everything. And I was like, "What the hell?"
I'm just picturing like a grandma with that little pink frilly,
yeah,
with the laces
frilly one.
around it.
Well, you can see out of the
mask.
bottom of it. This thing like cups your eyes. You can't. There's nothing. You can't see anything. And I sleep so much better with it on. I've slept like a baby. I mean, really. Once I go to sleep, I can't live without it now. It is just incredible. So I finally hit on one. Yeah, the Manta mask was the name of it, and it was. They got me. Instagram got me. They've got me on a. I bought a whole. Got rooked a couple months ago in some men's skincare line, and I bought it and got it, and my whole face broke out with acne, like on the top of my forehead. I was like, all right, that was pricey. That Ambien shopping is dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous. God only knows what I've done.
Has anybody ever done a sensory deprivation tank?
No, but I would like to.
Sounds like you might enjoy a sensory deprivation tank.
I feel like, so like the floating, we've talked about the
floating,
like
no sound, no light.
Being alone that quiet would be kind of tough. Would you do it? I think you'd freak out.
I think I'd freak out.
I think
but I don't want a
flip
sleep
out.
mask. I don't.
I would do it.
Yeah, I think
I would at least try.
I'll try it.
I mean, I'll pretty much try anything once.
I think it would drive me insane too. Matthew says the same thing. I can't tell if I would like it or not. But anyway, yeah, I highly recommend the Manta mask. It's just a total game changer for me.
Why Manta mask?
Simply the best. That is.
I'm the one who was totally opposed to the Aaron Rodgers darkness retreat.
Yeah.
Just sounded miserable. That sounds miserable to me. You were a little more intrigued.
I think I was.
You wanted to maybe try it out for a little
I'd
bit.
rather just do the drugs that he does.
Yeah, the ayahuasca and all that. But I think for me,
Like, how long could you realistically go?
in a cave,
complete darkness and silence and just locked away.
I think at the time he did it, my kids were being irrationally insane. they've been so good lately that I'm like, no, I would never want to. At that time, I was like, lock me up in a cave for 6 weeks.
I don't think I could go more than a day. It's like 24 hours. I think I'd start to lose it.
I don't know that I'd make it to lunch, with my thoughts. Just me and my thoughts. Give me a book or something. Yeah, it'd be great. And a nice, comfortable bed. Take a nap in.
Our big boss, Michael, in the chat checks in. Congrats on 6 years. Looking forward to many, many more. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much.
Oh, we'll see. We only have 2.5 more years left on this.
Michael, we were actually looking back this morning at tweets from day one.
My Lord.
Of the Ben and Woods program. Like when our Twitter account was brand new. Like, can we get at Ben and Woods? Yes, we can get at Ben and Woods on Twitter. And we're going through some of the things that were the day one tweets from our very first show.
Had a guy tweet, "Who the F is Stephen Woods? Padres in 24." I said, "I am. Nice to meet you." And then he said, "This show won't last." That day. Well, we made it. We made it 6 years.
There were some haters. There were some critics already.
Some things never change.
Yeah. Listen, it's all good. I have nothing but love for everyone out there.
All of the haters, we actually had a good majority of the haters that day were coming from another radio show's fan base.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, actually on this station. Well, he never actually got onto this station.
And that station made it about 6 weeks.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was really fun first day.
And then the other people that were hating were just like, who the F is this Yankee fan that you guys hired?
Super fun, man. It was a really, I always come into every job a little naive, and didn't know, like at 94.9, the slogan was, "It's about the music," and they had hired a talk show. So I was like, this is great. I'm moving to paradise, get to shoot the ass with my friends every day, do fun bits. No, I just got crushed. Been crushed for 14 years, but still made it, and couldn't do it without Benny and Paulie, that's for sure. But that day, we had a rough start to the show. I think Hannah told me this morning, she goes, "I remember you guys just ripped calls." And the guy called in and was like, "Ben is pretty vanilla. I need you to make him," and that's where that drop came from, is me saying, "I'll pull that demon out of Ben Higgins." And I believe that guy still calls into our show. So thanks to all of you who have tried us and stayed with us.
That guy in years.
And we love you very much. Look at that. Boss man's coming in. Adam Klug walking by.
Do you think he brought us a present for our anniversary?
He called me at the break after he said I was hungry. He said, "Do you want me to stop and get you anything?" I decled.
Fair enough.
I didn't have any cash.
We got a lot to get to the next couple of days.
We do.
We've got our show tomorrow morning. Don't forget, we'll be at Baja Rick's Cantina in the Gas Lamp, 6th and L, broadcasting live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow. Now, you guys are staying downtown tonight, so you'll just make the quick walk down to our location. Adam and I are staying at home, and we actually shared text exchanges yesterday because he goes, "Are you not staying downtown with the guys?" And I go, "No, I have a home where there's no additional charge to stay at. At some point, I'm going to have to drive downtown anyway. Might as well do it in the morning and not pay extra for the hotel room." You treat it as a bit of a vacation with your wife.
Oh, yeah. Hotel Hannah. The look of pain in her face this morning.
And is Megan staying with you?
She's not staying with anybody else.
Okay. Well,
she's got her own room.
She's not staying at home, though.
No, she's coming down, yeah. She's staying with me. We're going down, checking in this afternoon. And then we got it for 2 nights as well, our room, because the last thing I want to do is, after a long day, raging from 6 a.m. till who knows when, don't want to worry about, all right, where did we park? Gotta go sit in traffic, drive 35 minutes home. No, we're just going to stay there.
I happened to remind her on my way out this morning as I was coming into work, don't forget Hotel Hannah.
It's a smart move on your part.
It is.
To tell the listeners a ton over the last week about Hotel Hannah, because now she has to
deliver. I'm no dummy, man. I've been doing this a long time. I know exactly what I'm doing.
So she's nothing like you, because if we put any expectations on you,
I
you
go
will
the other way.
Go the other way.
Correct.
And completely want to defy all the expectations.
Correct. Bit of a rebel in that regard.
Opposites attract.
She is more by the book, and Hotel Hannah, like I said, is a real thing. So
all she has to say is, "I want you to be a real tiger tonight. I'm looking
she
forward
said
to
that
it."
to
And
me,
then all of a sudden you go like,
you
"I'm not
divorce.
interested."
That's true. If she's like, "Hey, I can't wait to get you down there and get your disgusting body all over mine," I'd probably be like, you're right.
Let's just read a book.
But the look of like panic and pain in her face this morning when I said it, she's like, oh, I just remembered. Hotel Hannah. See you soon, babe.
All right, we got Bret Boone coming up, so let's take a quick time out. He's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. There was a fairly amazing sporting event that took place last night that neither of you have any interest in whatsoever.
If you bring it up, I think this show
but it
ends
was pretty cool
here and there.
So maybe I will, maybe
Now
I
and
won't.
then.
6 years could be all over.
He texted us, hey, the ending to this Lakers game is insane.
It was
We didn't even
insane.
respond.
He didn't even mention it, but it was really
We didn't even ask, oh, really?
Pretty good
What's
game
going
last
on?
night.
Well, let's
Nothing.
check in with Dave Roberts and see how he feels. Maybe Max Muncy wants to weigh in.
Coming up, San Diego's number
How
one
dare
sports
you?
station.
The day before opening day here.
97.3
This is
The Fan.
unbelievable.
Here's Kelly. Just reading this during the break. Welcome back. It's Ben and Woods. We got Bret Boone coming up. We're still listening for the phrase that pays. If you hear the winner of our tournament of drops from last week, call in 833-288-0973. You can win opening day tickets to tomorrow's Padres-Giants game at Petco Park. So our friend Chris Rose, the Chris Rose Rotation, had Miguel Rojas on, and apparently got a little spicy talking about his former Miami Marlins teammate, Jazz Chisholm Jr. And Jazz had been pretty spicy on a different podcast last week.
This was wild.
Criticizing Miguel Rojas when he said, the time that we were together on the team, the worst 3 years probably of my life, he took multiple shots at an unidentified team captain, apparent reference to Rojas, who was the Marlins de facto captain of the time. Quote, you can't be a team leader when you've got guys that have been in the clubhouse that's been there 9-10 years, even though they suck. They've been there for 9 or 10 years. The team calls them the team captain, but they're not a good captain. They're not a good person. You're not even a good athlete at this point. You're just here, and you're bringing down the young guys that are supposed to be good.
No, it's an interesting dynamic. So I also listened to some of Jazz's comments, and I like Jazz Chisholm. I do. The story he told, I go, are you insane? Did you hear what you just said? You know what he said? Ben, he said when he was a rookie, he fell asleep before a game, and they had a meeting at 4:45, and he fell asleep in the locker room. And Rojas saw him sleeping and didn't wake him up for the meeting, so he got mad at Rojas. He got mad at Rojas for letting him sleep through the mandatory meeting. And I think Miguel Rojas, I think he did the right thing because you're a grown man now. You're a professional. You need to set an alarm on your phone if you have a mandatory meeting. You need to get there. Just because you're a rookie doesn't mean guys have to hold your D everywhere you go. Are you going to go, did you eat right today, Jazz? Did you get your stretching? Like, the role of a team captain, that is what a captain does. A captain's going to let you sink or swim. And I couldn't believe what I heard from Jazz. Like, if you're going to use any... Now, I've heard other stories of other organizations. Like, we all heard the story about Freddie Freeman and Acuna Jr., and how he's like, turn your hat around. We don't do that. I think that's garbage. But this one, like, he didn't wake me up for a mandatory meeting. Like, well, why would he? You're a grown man.
So Rojas told Chris Rose that Chisholm is entitled to his opinion on his playing abilities, but he fought back against the rest of it. Quote, whatever you want to say about me as a player, you can have that opinion. But you saying that I'm a bad person when you don't even know me, that's what kind of bothers me. I'm not expecting everybody to like me. I don't like everybody. But that doesn't mean that I can go out there and tell everybody what's happening in the clubhouse. As a professional, you have to understand that you have to respect everybody that is in that clubhouse. When you come to a place, get to a new place, there are people there that have been there before you. There's rules in place, and someone is going to keep you accountable. Now, maybe Jazz was right about Miguel Rojas. He got traded to the Dodgers to, basically when Gavin Lux got hurt last year, right? They acquired him to fill in at short. Didn't have great season, and now when they need a shortstop again, they're moving Mookie there rather than play. I mean, he's still on the team, right? Miguel Rojas?
I think so.
But not really someone that they're counting on for any significant time or innings. At least they're hoping not to this season. So maybe the playing ability... Maybe that is true. It's declined, and he's not the same player. But sounds like clubhouse-wise, there's certainly some issues. Wasn't it Jazz who's finally trying to eat better?
Yeah,
had been eating,
which is good. That's
it McDonald's every single day,
taking responsibility. But again,
your choices are your choices, and if you perform on the field, it doesn't matter. But if I'm a teammate and I see even a young guy not taking care of himself like that and eating fast food every day, I'm going to wonder about his commitment to being the best that he can be. Right?
No doubt.
Aren't you going to wonder about that a little bit? Is this guy really committed to being the best version of himself to help us win if he's not even taking care of his own diet during the season?
I hope that you don't judge me like that for my diet.
Being a successful radio host can involve a number of different diets.
It's true.
Fortunately.
That's true. Thank God. No, and to play the flip side of that coin, the young guys coming into an organization trying to get their feet wet, it's got to be tough for them sometimes when the older veterans, we straight up asked Manny. Remember when we asked Manny at spring training, all right, so you as a team leader, how do you deal with a young, young, confident Jackson Merrill. And he kind of paused. He's like, I don't really want to answer that question, right? Because he was brought up in a different era. He's brought up in a different time. So I can see all sides of that. But that example of he didn't wake me up for a team meeting is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I think this is an outstanding topic to discuss with our next guest. Bret Boone is going to be with us, going to be a semi-regular contributor throughout the season, host of the Odyssey podcast, and, of course, former Padre and San Diego family royalty, baseball royalty. Bret Boone going to be with us on Baseball Eve, the day before the opening day. Coming up next with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And someone didn't secure their load of gravel.
Got some fun little merchandise that came in during the break. We will talk about that in our final hour, but a little sneak preview for the YouTubers out there. Congratulations to Holly, who called in and won the Padres opening day tickets, was listening for the Sounder, heard Kelly Danick, the Tournament of Drops winner, called in, and Holly has won the 2 tickets. Thank you, everybody else, for listening and calling. You can now just sit back and enjoy our interview with Bret Boone, which is coming up right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Soapy Joe's. Got a stalled car on the Ocean View off-ramp northbound at 15. It's over to the right shoulder. Further north on the 15, just before University. Accident over to the right shoulder. And an accident at the clearing stage on South 5 near Loma Santa Fe. Are you ready to suds up for a cause? Chief Bubble Officer Tony Gwynn Jr. and Soapy Joe's is bringing a whole new meaning to being a bigwig with their Soapy Bigwig campaign in support of Susan G. Komen. Make sure to visit SoapyJoesCarWash.com to donate today. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And we are joined right now by Bret Boone, host of the Bret Boone Podcast, an Odyssey original featuring the most notable names in MLB and all-around sports every week. And while that is the official tagline, it's also true because seen some of the guests that Bret gets on, and they're quite impressive. Bret, welcome back to Ben and Woods. Good morning to you, and a happy baseball season.
Happy baseball. Yeah, I woke up this morning. Time to go back to work and start grinding on and trying to predict what's going to happen, which is virtually impossible, as we found out a year ago.
It's exactly
but
right.
But remember, now that you're on this side, there's no consequences to being wrong anymore.
Literally no consequences. You could have a 20-year career of being wrong every time.
It's amazing how this is what's going to go down, and then 5 months later, so I didn't think it was going to go down like that.
You know, Booney, Ben gets mad at me because he'll ask me, I go, I have no idea. And neither do you. And he's like, yeah, but you're on this job, you have to give like a good, strong take.
You have to have an opinion.
Right.
It'll be like the national championship, and we'll be previewing it, and Woods is like, let's just wait and see how it plays out.
See what
tonight.
happens.
Like, what are we going to do for the next
job?
2
You got to
hours?
tell us what you think.
Let's just talk about it. It's fun. Let's just talk about it with everybody.
You got out there, and then you got the boys in the room. When you're wrong, they just bury you.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the gig. And then once in a while, you drain that 50-footer down the.
Yes.
Better than most, and everybody looks at you like, yeah, that's why I'm in this job. I'm a genius.
It's exactly right. With the 1 out of 10
remind them
times.
the one time you were right.
That's
Absolutely
exactly right. Well, Booney, man, yeah, the season starts tomorrow, and I know it's got to be for you. Thinking about, when you were playing and stuff, like the day before opening day, because as a fan, as a broadcaster, I'm giddy. I don't want to be here right now. I just want to be tomorrow. I want it to be tomorrow. I want it to be first pitch. As a player, when you played, what was the day before like for you?
Day before, and I'll tell you, it didn't change from my rookie year till my last year in the league. It's the night before. It's that anticipation. You had that last 2 weeks of spring. Sometimes you were ready to go 2 weeks before spring ended. Sometimes it was the last week where it finally all clicked for you. And then you get, you have the song and dance, and you get you might have a couple more preseason games at home, but it's not a real game, so it really doesn't count. And you're just like, let's just get on with it. My years in Cincinnati, when it was a really big deal, they have the big parade, and that's back when the Reds were always opening the season. So there's even more hoopla there. But the night before, then you get to the day of, and then you're going to run through the right field, tunnel, and you're going to line up on the first base side, and you got the butterflies. I always thought, let's just get opening day out of the way. Let's just not embarrass ourselves, hopefully win a game. Hopefully I get a hit. And then you get to game 2, and then you kind of settle in, and the grind begins, and it just feels like you're in the middle of June. But that opening day, there's so much anticipation. You want to get off on the right foot. And like I said, players, the one thing they don't want to do, they don't want to embarrass themselves. You don't want to go out on opening day and chase 4 sliders off the plate in dirt and strike out 3 times. That's not the way we want to start. It's weird, but that's the little things we think about on opening day. And then, like I said, once you get past opening day, the butterflies go away, and now it's a job, and now it's that 162 grind.
Bret, one of the big stories of the offseason was how free agency just continued to linger into March. And finally, in these last few days, had the two big pitchers on the market, the Boris clients, Blake Snell last week, and now Jordan Montgomery just yesterday agreeing with the Arizona Diamondbacks, both of them coming to the NL West. How do those two signings in particular, in your mind, impact the NL West race, if they do?
I think they just solidified the fact that the NL West is probably going to be the best division in baseball. I look at the four teams. You got the Dodgers with the super team. They're going through the Ohtani stuff right now. Who knows what's going to happen with that? But you look top to bottom, they're as good as it gets. Padres, man, I think I've been looking at this Padre team more and more. I like the trades they made.
Yep.
You know, Soto moving on last year just didn't work out. It's almost like too many young superstars in the same clubhouse. Soto's moved on, but the pieces you got for Soto, the King, Peralta out in the bullpen, I really love that. And looking at that starting rotation with Musgrove, Darvish, bringing in Cease, which is big, and King, this King kid from the Yankees, he's genuinely been in the bullpen. Now he's going to be a starter. I really like how that looks. And then you got Tatis, Machado, Bogarts, 3 MVP-type candidates. I like it. You lose Lugo, you lose Waka. But, you know, I think they exceeded expectations. They did about as good as they could do a year ago.
Yep.
Snell's gone. Obviously, that's big. He wins the Cy Young, goes to the Giants. But then you look at the Diamondbacks. I mean, they just got Montgomery with Gallen and Kelly just coming off going to the World Series. We haven't even gotten to the Giants yet, who I think had the biggest offseason. You know, they got Snell, Brandon Webb, who's going to win a Cy Young before it's all said and done.
Logan
and
Webb.
Robbie Ray.
You played against Brandon
Webb.
Webb. Logan.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Similar repertoires, by the way. The nasty splitter and all that, but and they got Jung Ho Lee and yeah, I mean they
Ray.
Yeah, Robbie Ray.
Ray. You know, 2021, Robbie Ray won a Cy Young. Things didn't go as planned in Seattle, but he's kind of sneaky there, coming off Tommy John. If he's right again, Snell, Webb, and Robbie Ray at the top. Jordan Hicks, what's he going to be going from the bullpen to a starter? You bring in Chapman, that shores up the defense. You get Solar, who hit 36 homers a year ago, and this Lee kid coming over from Korea. They're saying he's the best Korean prospect ever. He had a really good spring. I think the Giants really improved themselves the most, so I think it's going to be a 4-horse race. I think it's the best division in baseball. It's going to be really exciting.
I think so, too. I mean, we said that this morning, talking to our pal Bret Boone here on Ben and Woods this morning. And, you know, the Dodgers are just – the pressure is squarely on them, in my opinion. And I don't know. And you've gone through the rigors of a season and playoffs and stuff like that. I picked the Diamondbacks, and this is before yesterday, going out and getting Montgomery. It's going to take him some time to ramp up. But the hangover effect, is that a real thing for baseball players playing late into October and the grind of those games? Is that something that you're concerned with at all for them?
I don't think so. I think the Diamondbacks were under the radar last year. Nobody gave them a chance in hell of doing what they did. And it's a young group of players that just kept doing it right in your face. And next thing you know, they're a couple games away from winning the World Series. I think that just fed them. It grew them up really quick. Now you're coming back 1 year later with just a mental edge like, yeah, you're going to doubt us again this year. So I think the Diamondbacks are in a really good position. You talk about the Dodgers, and I've been really looking at the Dodgers lately. Yeah, they got the fanfare. You got the obvious, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman. It doesn't get much better than that in the middle of the lineup. But I have some questions with the Dodgers, okay? Walker Buehler, how's he going to be? Is he going to be the Walker Buehler we're used to? If he is, he's a definite bona fide number one starter. Glasnow, without a doubt, when he's healthy, is a number one. But he hasn't been healthy that often. When's the last time he pitched 150 innings? I think never. Yamamoto, all the fanfare, $300 million. He's never done it. Had a rough spring. Got hit pretty well out of the gate in that opening day for him. Clayton Kershaw, they're going to really baby him. He's going to be at the end. So I've got a lot of questions for that Dodger rotation. Yes, if everything's right, if Buehler's great, if Glasnow stays healthy, if Yamamoto is everything, lives up to the hype, well, they're in pretty good shape. They got a great bullpen. But then I look at the left-sided infield as well. You got Mookie Betts, a right fielder. I mean, they should ask the Padres to give him one of their shortstops. Mookie Betts, a right fielder, is going to play shortstop at the big league level for 162 games. Mookie Betts, I don't question his athleticism, as good as probably anybody in the game from an athlete standpoint. But to play short, that's a different animal. If he can do it, it'll be one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, going from right field to short. And then you got Max Muncy at third base, who's kind of a defensive liability. The left side of the infield, to me, got a lot of questions. So I don't question the star power in Dodgerville, but there's a lot of what ifs. And if those what ifs come to fruition, I don't know. It couldn't be this magical season that it's lining up to be. On top of that, the unbelievable pressures put on them. It's kind of at this point with that team and that star power, it's like you better win the World Series.
You have to.
Don't even come back.
Talking to Odyssey MLB insider Bret Boone here on Ben and Woods. And Bret, we were just talking about a little war of words breaking out between former teammates Miguel Rojas and Jazz Chisholm. And Jazz calling Miguel Rojas essentially not a good person, not a good captain, not a good athlete. And then Rojas, firing back that, whatever you think of me, you can have your opinion. But to say I'm a bad person when you don't know me, that's what kind of bothers me. Obviously, they're not teammates anymore, but what was your experience as a player? First, you were a young player, and you've told us a little bit about that, kind of your mentality when you first broke in, and you were a little more confident than some getting to the big leagues, given your family lineage. But I bet, did that rub some people the wrong way as well, being kind of a brash, opinionated, maybe young player compared to maybe the humble guys who come in and don't even want to be seen or heard from for the first season or two?
Without a doubt. And it wasn't, for me, it was never a problem with any of my teammates. It was the opposition. And I had that from a young age. I just had a way about me, a walk and talk. And, you grow up with my family and our place in baseball. Oh, yeah, that's Bob Boone's son. That's great. That's Ray Boone's grandson. So you have that kind of stigma going in. I never cared about that. It's like, I don't care who my dad is. I don't care who my grandpa is. As time went on, I don't care about Aaron or Bob or Ray. I'm just here to earn a living and kick your butt. As a young man coming up in the minor leagues, sure, I had a lot of that. And I had a chip on my shoulder because I was always being compared to, filling these big shoes. And I never looked at it that way. I just thought, my dad's never going to help me. My grandfather's never going to help me get to where I need to go. I've got to do it. So let's pay attention to what I'm doing. I used to, in the minor leagues, go city to city, and the first question would be, well, do you feel the pressure? And I go, yeah, I'm hitting 332. Why don't we talk about that? I'm second in the league at hitting. Then I got to the big leagues, and I said, yeah, I'm going to get 3,000 hits. And I was brash, and I was just naive as possibly could be, but I think at the end, looking back and laughing at that young player that I do now, how much I had to learn, it probably was a positive in where I got to in my career, because that blind confidence that I had, I think in the end really ended up being a real positive for me. And there were a lot of life lessons along the way, a lot of getting my butt kicked and falling down, but it taught me how to be a man. It taught me about life a little bit, and I wouldn't change it. But yeah, that young brash kid that Jay Buhner, and I remember just that whole Mariners, early 90s team. I mean, they gave me as hard a time as you can. There were two buses back then. It's like, Boone, you go on bus number 2 with the coaches. I said, no, I'm going on this bus with you, Buhner, and man, I got a lot of, and deservedly so. I got a lot of grief. They cut my suits in half and cut the buttons off my shirt so I couldn't close my shirt. And I would just do it. I would just do it with a smile and laugh and go, yeah, I don't care what you do to me. I'm going to keep doing it. But the guys, it was tough love. And then behind the scenes, man, they really took care of me, took me to dinner, bought me all new clothes. So it was kind of a win-win for me. And I just did it with a smile. And I didn't take it too serious. But, yeah, I mean, I see a young kid, and I remember as a veteran player, I'd see a young guy come in the clubhouse and brash and really no clue, but man, he was a baseball player and he believed in himself. He wasn't just talking the talk and telling you what you wanted to hear. He really believed it. And I used to smile at that guy, those type of players, and say, you're going to get beat down, you're going to be humbled, but you believe in yourself. I'll take a room full of those guys versus the guys that just tell you what you want to hear. And really, behind closed doors, we don't really trust. Do we really believe what we're saying out there, or that vibe we're giving off? So yeah, it's definitely a learning process. I wouldn't do it any other way. But yeah, it's fun to look back at those early years and think, man, did I have a lot to learn.
Well, Brett, after hearing that, I keep an eye on Jackson Merrill, the Padres' new 20-year-old center fielder. I think you're really going to like him.
Oh, yeah.
So keep just kind of an eye on his development going forward. And we'll be chatting with you. We're kind of setting it up that kind of semi-regularly throughout the season. Looking forward to it. So we'll talk to you next week. Really appreciate it.
You got it.
Enjoy opening day. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Booney.
Sounds great. Thank you.
There is Bret Boone, host of the Bret Boone Podcast and Odyssey Original. Make sure to follow the Bret Boone Podcast on the Odyssey app or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Can you imagine, number one? All right, Woodsy, you're on the back bus. Me, yeah, no problem. Cutting my suit in half? They cut his suit in half.
He, I think it both worked for him and against him, being the legacy, being the son and the grandson of all-stars and great players. But the one thing about baseball is there's nepotism in every line of work. I mean, Harry Carey's great-grandson is now a broadcaster at the age of like 12 in Major League Baseball. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's older than 12, but he's young, and he's getting a shot now. And there's certainly the name has a big part to do with it. But the one thing that you can't, if you can't hit, if you can't play, in Major League Baseball, you're not going to stick. You actually have to perform in professional sports to stick around. You may get more scouts because of your name. You may get more interviews and attention because of your name. But if you can't play, you're not going to stick around.
You can get drafted. You can get a workout.
Yeah,
you can get
a lot of things. But if you're hitting 180, there's no team that's just going to keep running you out there because of your last name.
Well,
no chance.
And then once you make it, like Booney said, they have to believe that you can play. So Jackson Merrill anyone could come in and bluster about how great they are, but you have to perform and you got to put up your numbers. And then they'll start to. Those are the guys you want them picking on you a little. You really do. You want them kind of showing you the ropes.
It means they're buying into you.
100%. Because they're not going to do it to some idiot that talks a big game and then can't play.
And they think he's going to be gone in 2 weeks.
Right.
They're not going to invest in them at all.
That's exactly right.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by your local San Diego County, the UPS store. A shred event starts today, March 27th through 30th, 50% off shredding services. Visit theupsstore.com for the location nearest you. See store for details.
Cutting the buttons off of someone's dress shirt is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
Like, what are they going to do?
What are you going to do? You just show up and you're like, here,
your shirt hangs open at that point.
Fantastic.
Luke Voigt does it on purpose.
Exactly.
Fernando would probably do it as
a fashion statement.
We've got our first delivery. Go through some of the new Padre giveaways. And people still asking questions about the TV announcement. Is that coming today or not? We'll let you know what we know and don't know coming up next year on The Fan. I'd like to think every job comes with a couple of perks. No matter where you work, there's something.
What does a perkless job look like?
I'm not sure. Governmental, like the DMV.
Bro.
Can you get at least like front of the line at the DMV if you work at the DMV?
Maybe. That would be a
Easier
tremendous.
to
I think it's
renew
a
your
government
license.
employee.
But a government
I don't
employee
know-
gets a
Is
lot
she
of
getting
perks.
I don't
or
know
not?
that she. Are they perks or benefits?
Those are
Good benefits are
good benefits.
Yeah, benefits are different, but I think perks are something
We get
that-
benefits here, but we also get
perks.
access to things.
Yeah.
Those are perks.
Yeah, I think kind of those unexpected little treats that you can get in your job.
Pizza delivery boy. There's always the possibility of a woman in a negligee
More
waiting.
fictional than real. But
Well, I've seen it. Waiting on her pizza, and she likes the look of you.
Stuck in the laundry machine.
Stuck in the laundry machine.
Needs help.
Needs help. Yeah, that's the potential perks are a thing too.
we have a lot of perks
Lots of
in
perks.
radio for sure. One of
100%.
them is that, especially being the Padres flagship station, we get access to giveaway items a little bit earlier than most. And Adam just brought in Padres. You've probably seen the lineup, but these are the first giveaway of the season is actually the opening series hat presented by Shaquan. And we've got them right here in studio. Nice brown, leather-esque looking San Diego Padre. Well, I doubt it's it's probably not
It'll go great with your polo tomorrow.
leather, but it really looks sharp.
Are you
And,
wearing your polo tomorrow, by the way?
Ooh.
You need to.
I'm on TV all day, though. I don't know that I should be wearing my channel 97.3 The Fan polo on
What are you
channel 10
not
all
on
day.
TV from 6 to 10?
That's right.
That's true. I could change.
Change.
I just need to bring 2 outfits
Yeah.
tomorrow. Then I should probably wear my polo. That makes sense.
All right, good.
So
If
Friday,
you don't, then one of us has
Somebody
to.
has
I'm
to.
not.
Friday, opening series hat, first 40,000 fans in attendance, presented by Shaquan. It's first come, first serve, so they often get more than 40,000. Make sure you're one of the first 40,000 to get those. And then in the second series against the St. Louis Cardinals, and I heard Jesse and Tony talking about this on the broadcast yesterday, the 97.3 The Fan City Connect ponchos, which is another first 40,000 on Tuesday night, April 2nd, and Tony and Jesse were talking about us throwing out the first pitch.
They did?
They did.
No, they
They're
didn't.
aware of it. Jesse just became aware of it yesterday and brought it up on the broadcast. And they
You're
started
joking.
talking about, you don't want to bounce it. You
Why
don't
didn't
want
we
to
pull
embarrass
this audio? I
yourself.
did not know they did that.
Yeah,
You should probably tell us these
You got to
things.
tell us this.
I mean, they didn't go on and on about it. It was a very brief
Cursory
conversation.
mention? Okay.
Little mention that we will be throwing
Oh,
out the first
God.
pitch. And they were talking about that, but that is part of the 97.3 The
Coming
Fan
up in like 4 days.
City
5
Connect
days.
Poncho giveaway. Yeah, everything. It's just going to come on so fast. Like, I'm just trying to get through. Oh, I was trying to get through last week with our 7 Mile Soul Series viewing party.
I keep thinking it's like, I knew it's early in the season. I kept thinking we got like 2 or 3 weeks between opening day and
Yeah.
first pitch night.
And then-
no, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, opening day is tomorrow and our live broadcast downtown at Rick's Baja Cantina. And then all of a sudden it'll be Tuesday. We're going to be throwing out the first pitch. It's like, when do I get to take a breath here? Just take a little bit of a breath. But it's baseball season, so really no breathing for the next 6+ months. But those are 2 of the giveaways. And then in the second homestand, we're coming up very quickly, April 8th through 10th, the Manny Machado home run bobblehead presented by Quidel Ortho, Wednesday, March 10th. That is a 3:40 start. The Cubs will be in town. And again, first 40,000 fans for the Manny bobblehead. You can visit Padres.com/giveaways for more details on all of these first 3 promotional items.
I don't remember
Carlos,
what this one looks like.
Carlos in the chat says Woods is for sure going to bounce it. Come on, bro.
I
I mean,
was.
there's 3 of us, and 2 of us play baseball.
Yeah,
Yes.
we were talking about it. I don't want there to be any bits. I really would like this to be serious business when it comes to throwing out the first pitch.
What do you mean serious business?
Like a good, solid, coordinated effort by the 3 of us.
Like a synchronized swimming routine?
Yes. There's Manny's bobblehead on our YouTube stream.
Love that he's doing the love you.
I love you home run
Good looking
trot for Manny.
Hmm.
I mean, again, I feel like I just need to concentrate. I do not throw baseballs very often, and I would like to get it somewhere in the vicinity of whoever is catching the ball for me. Could be anyone. I don't really care who it is, as long as they have a decent chance of catching
What if
the
we're
ball.
out there and Fernando lines up for your catch? You're
I
gonna
will soil-
you're gonna
I would
bounce
soil
that ball.
myself.
I mean, anyone, there's different levels. Everyone's going to make me nervous. I trust that Fernando's going to catch it no matter where I throw it.
That's a good point. I want Manny.
I could throw it 7 feet in the air, and he's going to just dive, spin, come down with it gracefully.
Casita Pro Dev says just one catcher. Yeah, that would be interesting. One catcher we all throw at the same time. One big throw. Yeah, I thought it'd be funny if we all started to do it, and then Paulie and I faked it. And then you got nervous.
People are there. They want to see the game.
All right, I promise.
We don't want to make too big of a deal.
All right, I promise you.
You're not the story.
We won't do any bits.
Thank you.
I am nervous about it, though.
Are you nervous, too? I'm definitely nervous.
Absolutely, dude.
I texted Tony and Jesse, and I said, don't make me nervous.
What'd they say?
Making me nervous. They didn't respond.
Oh,
Neither
God.
of them, which never happened. Neither of them texted me back, which made me even more nervous.
Wow. The Padres just sent out an email.
Okay.
And they do this throughout the year prior to a homestand, kind of detail each game and let you know if there's a giveaway, maybe beer fest or something like that. And we just got the first one of the year. And we've been waiting on this. I am always curious, who's doing the national anthem? Who's doing the first pitch for the season opener? And so they're going to have the big Holiday Bowl United States flag. John Foreman from Switchfoot will be performing the national anthem.
Great, dude.
You're going to get the flyover. You get that on opening day. And the first pitch is going to be one Sheil Seidler.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, dude. Could not have
I bet she'll
picked-
get a nice welcome from everybody.
I think so. Could not have picked a better representative.
Unbelievable. That's going to be it's going to be emotional.
It's going to bring me
as hell.
down, like
Wow.
make me lose it. 100%.
I don't know why I was not expecting that.
I don't know why I wasn't either.
I
It
was trying to
stands
even
to
think.
reason.
Because we were talking to some people yesterday, like
Paulie's like, is it Kyle Mooney? I'm
remember
like,
how
I don't
cool-
know.
Like Jake Peavy threw it out on opening day last year. That was awesome. He came by the show, and I'm like, I wonder who's doing it this year. Of course, it's going to be Sheil.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Man. Fantastic.
I know I wanted to get into some of the TV details.
Yeah.
And
What
I was
are
looking
they?
at this announcement to see if maybe it would tell us. And if you would like to watch the games on television, here's where you can watch them. Still nothing. Very quiet from the San Diego Padres. What
What does that mean? Is there some discussions behind the scenes?
I will say this. Well, MLB is handling it. So the Padres can't just unilaterally say, here's where the games are going to be, because MLB is handling all the negotiations. Everything I've been told so far, you're going to be able to watch them where you watched them last year, whether it's Channel 4 or Spectrum Cable, which was Channel
350,
305, I think, or DirecTV was it there, and then Fubo TV. Where you watched them last year, you should be able to watch them this year, but that has not been officially announced. The reason why I am not as worried, I know a lot of people worry about it, they're a Major League Baseball team. They need to get the games out to everybody. It does them no good to not have their games accessible to their fan base.
Would it surprise you that Major League Baseball butchered something, though? The answer is no.
Well, it's already at this to wait this long. There's
It's
already been a bit of
butchering. Yeah.
Well, I believe they have been waiting until the absolute last minute to try to get a deal done with, I don't know, Hulu, YouTube TV, whatever they're working on.
They don't
need
want
it as much time as
they don't want to
possible.
announce things piecemeal, like 3 weeks ago, here and we've got our deal with Channel 4, and then 2 weeks ago, here's our deal with Spectrum. They'd like to have them all in place and just have one big announcement where they can list all the places. So they've kind of been waiting, I think.
We're also 28 hours away from first pitch.
But remember that they need the games on TV as badly as you do. This is not a well, maybe the Padres will do us all a favor and put their games on TV. No, they need the promotion and the advertising that television generates. So it's not as though they don't have an incentive to do this. They're not being, we're not holding their feet to the fire. You're going to put the games on TV? What about the television? They're just as concerned about it as you are, the fans. I promise you, they want to get this done. And why it hasn't been done, I'm sure there are many reasons behind the scenes that I don't quite comprehend or understand. But I believe that they want this, the fans want this, and generally when everybody wants something, it will happen and it will get done. Maybe I'll have egg on my face and be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that you'll have a chance to watch Padres games on television again this year.
And if not, you can listen right here on 97.3.
That is true.
The Fan flagship.
Jesse describes it so well, it's as if you were watching the game.
I mean, it's the best. The best in the biz. We're spoiled at every turn.
Paulie, do you want to start the Reindl Report now, or a little
Let's just
late,
push it.
or shall we push it back a little bit to our next segment so you can have the entire next segment to get to the Reindl Report?
I like pushing things in our show.
I want to hear about this wiener specialist that they're looking
the wiener
for.
connoisseur.
Wiener connoisseur.
That is a real.
It's a real story coming up in the Reindl Report.
Like hot dogs?
We'll find
just
out.
Wiener dogs?
We'll find out.
Fair enough. I know
Wiener
nothing about
connoisseur.
this.
Just want to shout out one of our beloved listeners, EC Money. He reached out to us. He said, Ben and Woods, congrats on such an amazing accomplishment. 6 years have gone by so fast. I've had so many memorable moments listening to your show. Nothing better than that morning you guys genuinely reacted to signing Manny Machado. My life has changed listening to you guys. I'm so glad it wasn't the end back when the old station died. I suffer from depression, but you guys have cured me in ways I can't thank you enough. I love listening and laughing with you guys. Love it. Hashtag EC.
Thank you very much, my friend. It's our pleasure. Trust me.
We're not listed as an official
We're not
cure
licensed.
for depression.
No,
just
there's
so you're
no
not,
license.
don't want to create that expectation for everybody.
Miracle workers, Ben and Woods.
Listen to Ben and Woods and cure your depression.
Right? Yeah.
We can't get out of bed some days, but we got to do it.
We can't promise that for everyone, but I'm very touched by those comments, Easy, and thank you so much for listening for the last 6 years. And I know a lot of you have been around since the very beginning, 6 years ago. Some are new. Maybe we got first-time listeners today. We appreciate you all. You are all valued, and you are all tier ones and members of our community.
If we have any new listeners, like maybe this week, maybe today, like you just said, I get asked, I don't know, once or twice a week, hey, how do I become a tier one? How much do I have to pay to be a tier one?
$1,000 Venmo me, and you're in.
It's at Paul-Reindl.
You're in 100%. $1,000.
That's a monthly payment, by the way. If we're just messing around. If you listen to the show, if you have smiled once during this show, you're a tier one.
Yeah,
we've
told this story before, but originally we were trying to figure out, all right, tier ones, they listen all day, every day, and then there's tier twos who, listen most of the time. Tier threes, listen in their car. Tier fours, just tune in every once in a while. Once we got to the pandemic, we realized, you know what, you're all tier ones. You all got promoted, so now every Ben and Woods listener, even if you just listen for 5 minutes, you are a tier one. Congratulations. Maybe that's not fair to the people who listen, all 20 hours every single week. You think you should have a special category. We do appreciate that tremendously, but everybody in the audience is a tier one of Ben and Woods.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Also Venmo us.
Also Venmo.
Thank you.
$1,000.
Paulie always deserves a little extra credit for the Reindl Report. We'll get to that a little bit late. Coming up next with Ben and Woods after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. I think I've heard that.
Out.
Cash in on basketball's big moments with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Use code KWFN for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Our boss is like, we've been playing the music for like a minute. I'm like, hey, we're on the radio here. We are live on the radio.
He's excited. He's an excitable guy. Very excitable guy.
Big week.
It's a big week.
Big week.
Yeah.
When you're a flagship station.
Speaking of Adam, we got a great message from our buddy Christopher Chadwick. Says, has Adam asked to purposely botch the first pitch to go viral yet?
Nothing goes viral like a botched first pitch.
50 Cent. Stephen A. Smith, I think, had a bad one. Gary Delabate.
I don't want to botch it.
Ben?
No, I don't want to go viral. I do not want to be known as the guy who messed up the first pitch.
The antivirus.
Right.
Yeah.
If no one ever saw it again after Tuesday, I'd be okay with that. Really, I would be.
The guy that used to sit in that chair had a pretty awful first
Yeah,
pitch.
for an elite athlete, it was really one of the more pathetic ones that I've seen.
As I said, there's almost no way to be memorably successful at a first pitch.
No.
You can throw
Unless you throw 98 miles
Unless
an
you're
hour.
the president of the United States after 9/11.
Yeah. I mean, even if you get up on the mound and you throw a perfect pitch, it's still going to be forgotten in 10 minutes. There's just almost no way to do.
That's what you want.
To be successful.
That's what you
So, really, you want to be forgotten almost immediately when you throw a first
Or
pitch.
they love what they see from you and decide to send you to El
I mean, there's
Paso.
been some acrobats who have done like flip kind of things. And
I won't be
pulled it
doing
off,
any
but we will
of
not
that.
be. We will not be attempting that. Paulie will be attempting some headlines here in the Reindl Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Good morning, my friends.
Good morning.
Let's see, where do we want to start today? We were just talking about the Padres television broadcasts, or lack thereof right now. We're still wondering. People are wondering where they're going to be able to watch Padres baseball, and that is a good lead into this first story because Awful Announcing had a story yesterday about ESPN potentially, possibly, reportedly looking at getting out of the baseball broadcast game.
So no more Sunday night baseball.
Their current deal with ESPN lasts through 2028.
Okay, still 2 years away.
$540 million a year.
Okay.
And that's actually a bargain from what you were paying previously. That number has gone down a little bit.
Wow.
But according to
Is it just the numbers, the ratings? It's not pulling the ratings that it needs to? Again, I'm happy to move all broadcasts to Apple TV ASAP.
I don't really know what
So-
the answer is. My guess is like baseball teams, they're known for their local broadcasters more. Like if I watch an NBA game, though, the national, the TNT and ESPN, they seem like my basketball broadcasters. Maybe that's because we don't have a team.
That's probably exactly why.
But there are more national, like the Lakers play about half of their games on national, half on local.
Right.
Padres play 98% of their games locally. And when they're on national, we don't really love it.
I hate it.
We don't really like it. So
I don't like listening to
I
Eduardo
wonder if that's
Ortega-
just part of the fact that you don't feel like you're getting the value as a network broadcaster when people actually are kind of mad when they have to watch the game on your outlet. Like, I'm not mad when I watch a Laker game on TNT or ESPN, but I'm kind of mad when I have to watch a Padres game on Fox Sports 1 or ESPN
I
or
love
Apple.
Eduardo Ortega. I can't stand Eduardo Perez. That's what I meant to say. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Good correction there.
Perez.
So
False ball.
Not only is it Sunday Night Baseball, they do have like the midweek ESPN Plus games occasionally as well. And Andrew Marchand from the New York Post said that there's an opt-out for ESPN after next season, the 2025 season. And it's being reported that ESPN is leaning towards exercising their right to just end the deal. It's one of those things. ESPN doesn't have great baseball coverage.
No.
You've seen it before, probably. People have pointed out, like, the last baseball-relaed post on ESPN's Instagram was from 7 months ago or something. Like, they
Just
are
don't
all
prioritize
in
it.
on football, whether it's the NFL or the SEC network.
Boog's great. Passon's a tremendous insider.
Yeah. Even Boog is doing local.
He also does local as well.
Now, permanently.
But he's not also doing ESPN too?
No, I think he does.
Yeah.
He does like ESPN radio on Sunday nights, but he eventually was exclusively ESPN. Now he's almost
That's
exclusively
fine. As long
with
as
the
they go,
Cubs.
I don't know. I'll be missing much at all if they go.
Well, Sunday Night Baseball will probably live on. It just might be
Somewhere
on another
else.
network.
Fine by
Apple
me.
TV or something.
Fine by me. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Who knows? All right, real quick, let me pull this up on the stream here. A little video. The president of St. Bonaventure University, they issued a statement yesterday. They missed out on the NCAA tournament, and they chose to not participate in the NIT tournament, which we talked about this last week. I'm all in favor of that. I think the NIT tournament is stupid. I think it's a waste of everybody's time, and I think that nobody really cares about it. You can't name one NIT tournament champion in the last 20 years.
NIT tournament champion.
You can't.
Virginia.
Is that true?
You made that up.
He made that up.
You don't know, though, if I did or not. So...
Exactly my point. This was like a hostage video, though, from the president of St. Bonaventure University. It was
Hello, everyone.
odd.
I know many of you are upset with the events that transpired last week regarding the NIT. Quite frankly, I am too. I know how passionate you are about this place and that the Bonnies are a major source of that affection. I knew that 3 months before I even started as president, when I attended the NIT Final Four in New York in
Blink twice if you're
2022
okay.
and saw nothing but a sea of brown and white every time I turned around. You should have been informed of the team's decision about the NIT on Sunday evening, not 3 days later. The fans of most of the other 16 teams on that ESPN graphic could not have cared less, but they aren't Bonnies. I know you feel a lifelong sense of pride and ownership in this institution.
He goes on for
Do you
2
have
more
any
minutes.
inflection in your voice
No,
whatsoever?
he doesn't. It was the weirdest video. It was extremely bizarre.
So they said they didn't want to play, but they didn't let their fans know or anything, and their
Yeah,
fans
the
were all
fans were like-
excited.
yeah.
Well, they want the fans want to watch their team play, and like you said, they were at an NIT before, and the fans went nuts. That's something. If I'm the university, don't you have to take that into consideration? Like, we had a really good showing for this, second tier tournament. Like, why would we say no again if our fans and stuff are into it? And I think that's what's blown back. Blew his hair clean off, actually. I was going to say blew his hair back. Blew his hair clean off.
And I'd like you to know, Virginia did win the NIT my junior year of high school.
In 1992.
Yes.
I think probably said 20
I said
years.
20
So
years.
you miss out on that, buddy.
I could probably guess all day, and I could not tell you the defending NIT champion.
Somebody said Florida, Baylor, they've won it. I'm just going to
Baylor won in 2013, so that one counts within 20 years.
Take them at their word.
I was
Florida,
looking him up.
Florida, no. No. Last year's NIT champion, North Texas.
Oh, Denton, Texas, buddy.
Yep. Beat UAB in the final, the team that the Aztecs beat in the first round of the NCAA tournament this year.
Okay.
Well, good for them. All right. You guys want to talk about wieners?
Yes. I want to hear what this entails.
So the online betting site BetUS, they do odds. I think you can gamble on their website as well. I get emails from them all the time.
Okay.
Look at the odds for the new Patriots head coach or whatever. They are hiring for a position called Wiener Connoisseur, and the Wiener Connoisseur is going to travel to all 30 Major League Baseball parks.
Sold.
And examine, measure, try out
the
hot dogs. Yes.
Why would a betting website?
The length and girth is important in the overall wiener consumption
I don't
experience.
like a thick hot dog.
Like the Randy Jones, the big giant.
That's like a sausage.
There's like short
Louisville
and fat
Slugger.
or long and
No,
skinny.
that's a hot dog. It's just a really, really big hot dog.
I like mine more long and thin, but I don't like
a Costco dog.
I don't like the tips to hang over the edge.
The Costco dogs, the tips do hang out.
I
over
don't.
the edge.
I like it to be a form-fitting. Wiener fits right in the bun.
I agree with you.
So
I don't want any overhang.
Bun to wiener ratio has to be 1 to 1.
It has to be perfect.
You also don't want extra buns sticking
No,
out.
I'll take the extra bun.
You will.
I'll take a smaller wiener if I could have a little bit more bun on each side.
So you can apply on their website, BetUS, and
Why?
between
Do they
now
have-
and April 18th.
Like, what would DraftKings have hey, we're gonna hire a pizza guy to go around and taste all the. I don't understand why they would do it.
They don't even care about the taste. They're literally just curious about the size of hot dogs between all 30
Question:
Major
does
League
size
Baseball
matter?
bars.
I think it does.
Absolutely.
I think it
does.
absolutely
but
does.
bigger's not always better.
Especially when it comes to
Yeah.
hot dogs.
Flavor,
Flavor
texture
is important.
Very
says here
important.
you'll get to taste test dozens of hot dogs. They don't really care how good they taste. They just want you to measure each one
Measure
to
it.
see which Major League Baseball team has the biggest and the smallest hot dogs. It says you need to measure the length as well as the
circumference,
diameter,
the girth of it.
how much it weighs, how heavy the hot dogs are. You're not going to have to pay for this. They will take care of everything. They're going to buy you the game tickets. The travel is covered for all 30 teams.
What a gig.
And you get a $2,500 stipend as well. And a $500 gift card to MLBshop.com so you can get some gear to wear. And you get a subscription
Wiener
to MLB
specialist.
TV. Wiener connoisseur.
Wiener connoisseur. I was doing that bit when we would play a lot of golf. I was taste testing all the
You did?
the wieners around town, and Twin Oaks.
Remember when we used
was
to
up
play
there.
golf?
Yeah, remember when we used to play golf like twice a week. Goat Hill, phenomenal wiener there. I'm a big fan
Of wieners.
of wieners and of all that entails.
Grilled or
Love.
steamed?
Both, but I
Yeah,
love
they're both,
a grilled.
They're both good, but I actually like the Chicago, the steamed
so good.
dog with a slightly steamed bun as well, where it gets almost
A little moist.
soggy and moist.
A little
I like,
bit.
I do like that.
I do
I like
too.
the grill marks on a hot dog.
And I do like the grill marks.
Can't have them both, though.
No. Could. You can steam it, then grill it.
It's a lot of work.
I like them both. I'm
Wrapped in foil.
starving.
All right, we have one more segment before we can go eat.
Yeah.
Celebrate. Do they have a cake for us for our 6th anniversary? I haven't even checked.
I didn't see
yet.
anything.
Looking forward to the cake that we're going to probably not enjoy after the show today. Final segment, get you ready for Annie and Elston. 6 years, almost in the books of Ben and Woods on San Diego's actually already in the books. This is the start of year number 7 today on 97.3 The Fan. My nemesis, Steve Alford, just announced that he will be remaining as head coach of the Nevada Wolfpack.
Are you his nemesis?
No.
Do you think?
No.
It's
It just
weird
gets under my skin.
Because all of my nemesis I'm also theirs.
This
Like they're well aware of your feelings towards
We're
them.
nemesis.
completely unaware of my existence, likely.
So is he technically your nemesis?
He gets under my
Just
skin,
let
though.
it go.
I mean,
Let it go.
He releases this huge statement. I know there are a ton of rumors flying around, and this happens when you have had success. However, Tanya and I love the Reno community, our boosters, the fan support, and the program that we're building. We're already very busy putting together next year's team. You blew a 17-point lead in the second half of your NCAA tournament game. No one is crawling over each other to try to hire you as their head coach at their big-time program. Thank you for that statement that you're going to be staying in lovely
I know the
Reno.
I know
America's biggest little city.
I know the rumor mill is churning. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. Go home and tell your wife that today. You go, listen, you know the ladies are after me. I know you've heard a lot of things. Just so you know, I'm here to stay.
You were outscored 24-4 down the stretch. You're not the hottest commodity out there,
Are you
Coach.
saying he didn't really have any other options?
I don't know, but it just feels funny to see it out there. I mean, Nevada is done. They made the tournament. I'm sure they're very happy with the job that he has done.
Adam Paul says that's not true. He was connected to a few jobs.
Was he?
Connected is
Probably
different.
by his own agent.
Correct.
So
what is the plural of nemesis? Is nemesis?
Nemesis.
Is that right? I like
Nemesis.
nemesi. That's much better. All of my nemesi out there. Do you have any nemesises?
I probably do.
Well, no. You know if they're your nemesis.
Well, I just told you.
No.
Steve Alford.
They know that they're your nemesis.
You know that they know.
You know that they know.
No.
No. Wow. What's that like?
I believe that too.
I believe it.
100%.
I really do.
I'm not naive enough to think that everybody likes me.
No, everybody does not like you.
What do you say that? You're so fast with that.
Oh, I just had to shorten my brain.
I was expecting you to go, I don't know, maybe everybody does like you. No, you're right away. No, everybody doesn't like you.
It's absolutely true. Absolutely.
Thanks for just jumping right in with that.
Unequivocally.
But anyway, they I mean, Nevada, they pulled the reverse of the Lakers last night, who were 19 down to the Bucks in the fourth quarter and came back to force overtime and win in double OT.
What's wrong with you?
They were so out of it. Woods, I think you'd appreciate this. They were so out of it.
I promise you I won't.
That,
I swear I won't.
Dan Wojcicki, who covers the Lakers for the LA Times, was tweeting, time to pull your starters out of this game. They're like, it's dumb to have Anthony Davis still out there at this point. LeBron didn't even play because of an ankle injury, so he wasn't out there. And yet they rallied on the road and beat the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis and Dame and everybody. It was a really, really good win for the Lakers last night in double overtime.
Fantastic. And I'm sure Blake Trinan is elated with that victory. The fact that Blake Trinan would watch basketball is maybe the best joke I've ever told.
So is Tony Gwynn Jr.
Yeah,
So.
Tony Gwynn Jr., big Lakers guy. I get it.
All right, let's check traffic. We'll come back. We got opening day tomorrow. Let you know again what our plans are for the entire day coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Wrapping up with a couple of problems along the southbound 15 in the North County. Just past Scripps Parkway, Caltrans got the 2 right lanes blocked for some pothole repair, so please take it extra carefully as you pass. Even move over in lane if it's safe to do so. Hit and run accident further down on the 15 at Mira Mesa Boulevard has left some concrete debris in lanes, so just watch out for a little confusion there. Westbound 8 at Mission Gorge Road, car and pickup truck got into it. They're over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. at Baja Rick's Cantina, downtown, 6th and L in the Gas Lamp, former Tin Fish location. If you've been down there before, right next to the Omni, a block from the ballpark. And not only are we going to be there doing our show and having breakfast, but we've got giveaways while we're there. So we have Padres tickets for our poncho giveaway night on April 2nd against the Cardinals when we're going to be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. We have Manny Machado bobbleheads. We've got Ben & Woods merch that we've pulled out of our own coffers to make sure that we can give away some shirts and stuff. What else did Adam say we had?
Blink
We had
182.
Blink 182 tickets. So Blink's coming to town, I assume, sometime.
No, we're just giving away tickets.
We're giving them away. They're actually playing in Duluth, Minnesota.
No, they're actually not playing. It's just tickets. You just get the tickets.
Old ticket stubs.
Old tickets. Would it surprise you?
And then we got some Ben and Wood stickers, maybe.
Good.
Outstanding. So you have to show up, though. Be in person, present to win.
Playing a concert here?
Are they, Blake's coming to town?
Well, I mean, I assume that it's possible that they were coming to Orange County or something. We've given away
That's true.
tickets occasionally to things that were a little further away.
That
but
is true.
I was assuming they're coming to San Diego.
A lot of bands do avoid San Diego like the plague now.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me.
When that band starts
When
avoiding
that
San
band-
Diego,
yes, then
that's
we're
when you
in-
know it's really bad.
We are in deep ass. If Blake's like, no, we'll play Anaheim. That's as far south as we will go. That's when we've really blown it. As a community, we've really blown it. So they will be here. I don't know when exactly they're coming, but they will be here.
And then so we'll do our show. Annie and Elston will come on from 10 to noon from Rick's Baja Cantina, or Baja Rick's Cantina. I always flip it around. But you guys, are you going to stick around then for the game all day?
Yeah.
I've got live shots from the Marriott for Channel 10 from 11 to 12.
So you got
I'm
to
gonna
go up to the top
up to the
thing.
roof.
I like that.
The DJ booth
That's,
up the
that's
top.
cool,
The Marriott is.
And I really hope.
You got a view.
Please reenact that.
And I really hope
And I
we
really
can see
hope
more unity and more peace
If you do this, please.
when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Shout out to the Padres.
Shout out to the Giants.
I'll give you
families.
$40 cash to reenact
Like,
David
I
Guetta
will
on the
come up
roof.
there and film it if I need to. You just let me know, buddy.
It's the same view. It's the same spot.
I will
as
do
you.
it. Do I have to do it on television? Can I just do it like on social media up
Send
there?
it to me,
we'll
we'll-
come on. Yeah.
And I really hope
I need you in a
see
jacket.
more wins and fewer losses.
Shout out to his family.
God.
But you got that view into the ballpark.
It's
That's why it's such a
cool.
cool location up there.
It's I always see it and I see you up there and I go, man, I'm a little bit jealous. I want to, but I don't think I can get up there. Can you get me in? Isn't
Yeah,
that
I can get you in.
the worst when people
Yeah.
ask you, can you get me in? I don't think so.
And then go to the game. And then after the game, I think we're down actually on street level at the Marriott for the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock news and doing highlights. I'll be trying to watch the Aztecs game on my phone, likely, or something from downtown San Diego. So, but it's a long day. I mean, how are you? Are you You're staying all day
Oh,
downtown?
yeah, dude. We're doing the show. Going to go back to the hotel room, change clothes, and then freshen up a little bit.
After our, yeah.
Wink, wink. Haha. And then going to go to our pal Corey's having a big tailgate. He always does. I think he's got some sangria, which I'll probably imbibe a little bit of that, and then head on over to the ballpark and walk around and check out the scene. Now, I've got my pass.
Don't go crazy, all right? Don't ruin Friday's show
I know.
like you did last year.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Well, they better win. They better win.
Now, extenuating circumstances. Remember, last year it was supposed to start at 1 o'clock
God.
as well, and didn't end up starting until 7. And we started at 6 a.m. going all day. There's just no way to make it through 17 straight hours without ruining your Friday.
Not legally. I mean, there's really no legal way to do it. But so yeah, I'm gonna do that and go to the tailgate. Probably have a couple shots, couple drinks, go over to the deal, have some food. Stay for the game as long as I can. I don't have seats, so that's the thing. I'll be walking around a lot, and
we'll
then
make some room for you in the press box. If you'd like.
then Hannah, will she stand outside the press box and wait?
Just right on that bridge there. Just
Can you
waiting.
get us into the press box? Can you get us in?
Not Hannah.
Exactly.
I can get you in.
Exactly. So then we're going to do that, and then we're going to go watch the Aztecs somewhere.
Okay, good.
Yeah, at our hotel that we're staying at, they have a really cool little sports bar at the bottom. And last year we went and watched the last few innings and had dinner there. So I think that's what we'll do, go watch the Aztecs there, and then wake up. She's actually going to be on the show in Friday. It's your choice if you want to put her on or not, but she's coming with me.
It's my choice.
Well, it's not.
I didn't think so.
You can interview her if you want, find out how the scene was. So she'll be hanging out with us on Friday, if
And
that's cool
by
with you
the
guys.
scene, you mean the scene in your hotel room.
Just the scene, just the overall scene is what I mean. She's very excited for opening day. She's got all her outfits planned and all of that. So I'm really excited too. It's gonna be fun. It should be a beautiful day and get to all be together and hopefully get a dub, man. Go ahead and stick it to Logan Webb and Bob Melvin and embarrass Jung-Ho Lee on his first day in the big leagues. I want all of it. I'm going to be very greedy this season.
Whatever happens, Padres at least have a victory already.
They do.
And we were just talking about Fernando Tatis Jr. even got an official hit yesterday.
Yeah, they changed the Max
Muncy error to a hit. So Fernando's batting average went up by quite a bit, actually, because at this point in the season, one hit makes a kind of a difference. So, yeah, Fernando was the beneficiary yesterday. So now he's all the way up to a 250 average and 400 on-base percentage, 2 of 8 instead of 1 for 8, I believe. So
I'm going to be interested to see this season just how you've seen it a little bit in the exhibition games and you've seen it in spring training. The Padres have been running a lot more. I'm interested to see how they continue to do that, and I'm interested to see what the lineup is going to eventually shift to, because a lot of it, for me, really hinges on how so far so good for Jackson Merrill. If he's in the 9 for the rest of the season, I'll be really surprised, especially when, and again, I love you, Jurickson Profar. Jurickson Profar is currently your 6-hole hitter. And I know that he's a switch hitter and he's a little more versatile there, but if you've got a righty on the mound, I wouldn't mind seeing that kid start to, grind his way up in the order a little bit. I think it can be a little more dangerous. What do you think, Benny, about the Ha-Sung Kim in the 5? That's interesting to me as well. He hit pretty well in the leadoff spot. They have a lot of different options, but what you don't want is, you want guys to get comfortable, but they also have to be able to be moved from time to time. I'd be real surprised if we see a lot of the same lineup this season.
I do get the sense that Mike Schultz is going to stick with this one at least for a little while. While Manny continues to DH, I think, it was the same the first 2 games. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's exactly the same at least 2 or 3 of the games in this series as well against the Giants.
I've been surprised seeing Crony in the 3 hole as much as we have.
Well, that's going to be there just to break up the righties. But the thing is, somebody made the point the other day, I think it was our buddy Christopher Chadwick, he said, I don't love a lineup that doesn't have Manny guaranteed to hit in the first. And I thought, yeah, of course. And that's not the way baseball happens these days. A lot of teams are just saying, I'm putting my absolute best hitter first. Doesn't matter if it's Aaron Judge. Doesn't matter if it's Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
I don't think Harper hit leadoff, but they have Kyle Schwarber, 40 home run power, gets on base, not going to kill you with a double play, right? So they just lead him off, and I wonder. Xander has been a bit of a ground ball guy. You cannot have Ha-Sung Kim leading off and then rolling into a double play, but Ha-Sung Kim gets on, steals second. Xander then moves him over. Now we're cooking, So I do wonder how that's going to look.
With so many teams now, 162 games, 162 lineups.
Yeah,
it's almost funny that you've saw a lot of consistency already.
Very much.
First couple of games for the Padres. So, but they will, with Manny eventually playing third, there's going to be some bigger changes at some point. But I'd say early in the season, no reason to change what worked really well. Tyler Wade's off to a good start. I expect him to be at third base at least for the first series or 2.
3 righties to start. No, 2 righties and 1 lefty. Yeah. Okay.
I think so. All right, that's it for today.
Happy
we will
6
see you
years,
tomorrow
boys.
morning at Baja Rick's. Happy 6 years to both of you as well. Annie and Elston coming up next. For Paul Reindl, our executive producer, imaging director. For Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, Baseball Eve, from all of us here at 97.3 The Fan. So long.